Hey everybody. Serial Wars, you arrived pretty much exactly on time. It's 2 o'clock, that's when I said I'd be starting the stream. The whole stream was just to give people a chance to get alert messages, to give me a chance to make sure my connection's gonna be stable and stuff like that. You arrived exactly on time. Oh, you like your... Oh, you don't have audio? There's no audio. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright. So let's get into it. We'll, do a half hour of NES Pinball. And where's the... Okay, there's the timer. We'll just punch in for 30. And now let's get started. Now, this is the... Okay, my audio's working fine. I was scared for a second. I was like, it should be working alright. Now, I have to probably adjust my own audio a tiny bit. That should do it. Oh, see, I'm using... This is the first time I'm trying to use... I'm so used to using the shoulder buttons. Because the, yeah, the Nintendo Switch version of this, well, the arcade version of this on Nintendo Switch, I customized the controls so the flippers would work with the left and right shoulder triggers. So that was fantastic. And now it's weird going back, even though I'm so used to it after years of playing NES Pinball, of using the A and B or B buttons for the right flipper and the D-pad for the left flipper. It's just weird getting used to that again. This is the first time I've really played NES Pinball since getting into the arcade version, which I do feel is the better balanced version. I'll have to look at some of the playbacks in slow motion in both this version and the arcade version, so I can get a sense of, so I can compare the point outlet. It's like when I was doing audio testing earlier, because this is the first time in a while I've plugged up my Nintendo Switch for streaming, so all my audio settings were based on the audio for my Switch stuff. And I noticed, I confirmed just doing the test footage I filmed just to make sure my audio was alright. When you exit the bonus stage in this version of Pinball, you do not get an extra 1,000 points. So that's something they added to the arcade version. And also you notice the top flipper there, on the top screen, that circular bumper on the top screen had 100 points on it. And down here, these 3 circular bumpers in the middle also have 100 points. And, oh, come on. That was a little cheesy. Do you see the circular bumpers in the center on the lower and upper screens? See, I'm gonna be triggering the menu, virtual console menu, so much just because of being so used to using the trigger buttons on the Pro controller on the Switch. I'm using the Wii U Pro controller now with my Wii U. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the things, I think a lot of things are balanced better. Like, for instance, on the upper screen, that bumper up there, the pink bumper is 100 points. Down here, these 3 bumpers are 100 points. In the arcade version, the circular bumpers on the lower table are worth 300 instead of 100. And I think that better balances the game, because on the upper table, you have no danger of losing the ball. As long as you keep your ball on the upper table, you're guaranteed never to lose a ball. Whereas on the lower table, you can lose balls here. So I think that making the circular bumpers be worth 300 points rather than 100 balances the game a bit. It balances it a lot better, I believe, because you're at higher risk of losing a ball. You're at risk of losing a ball when you're on the lower screen. Never are you at risk of losing a ball on the upper screen. So little things like that, I do believe, make the arcade version a more balanced game. Plus, there's no ball save on the lower... Now, I'm looking at my high score here. I've never even gotten 100,000 points, apparently, in this version. And also, you will notice on the left on my scoreboard, my bonus points, there's not a separate bank of points for my bonus points. Yeah... Another high-stakes pinball run. Well, it's funny because this is the first time I'm playing the NES version since getting into Versus Pinball. And I'm not really trying for high score, I'm just sort of getting the feel for it here, I guess. I mean, if I get a PB, that's not bad. I'll have to check my high score on my Wii Virtual Console version, because that is definitely the version that I have the most points in. I've gotten at least 100,000 points in the Wii version. I don't know what my high score in that version is, but I won't be... I'll have to do a lot of different tests for both this version and the Nintendo Switch version to just to get a sense of which game is more difficult, which tends to pay out more points. This is just a Wii Virtual Console game. This is basically just an NES ROM running on the Wii U. Whereas the Versus Pinball on the Nintendo Switch is part of the Arcade Archive series, which is basically the Virtual Console, as in the Wii and Wii U and 3DS sense format, but for Nintendo arcade games. So you buy the game, and you get the all the different Nintendo arcade releases, and they're the arcade versions to the point where you actually have to press a button to insert the coin. And those games, those were... The Arcade Archives conversions were handled by Hamster, and Hamster added online leaderboards in those versions. Whereas this, all I could do is really just, I guess make us... Look, I've already surpassed my personal best on this copy of the game. So what I would do here is, I would create the restore point. So now my high score is... That's basically the closest I could do to saving my high score. Because if I flat out reset this... The music's different here. This kind of sounds like Charlie Brown music to me. But I guess that jingle was too loud. And also, I do like the arcade title screen better because it actually uses the pinball for the eye and pin. Now, I bet Nintendo would love to charge you a microtransaction every time you insert a coin. Well, don't give them any ideas, because we're already getting a digital limited release of Fire Emblem. I mean, first off, like, I'm happy that there's going to be a release of Fire Emblem, but it's not like people are saying, oh, it's just this one thing for Mario 35, and it's like, no, Nintendo's doing this now. They're going to do this Disney Vault stuff where they release these games on a limited basis, digitally as well as physically, and that's just how it's going to be now. And they know they can get away with it because Mario 35 sold so well. And what gets me is, how are we getting even Fire... No one was clamoring for a localization of the first Fire Emblem game for Famicom. I mean, no one. There were no... I'd be shocked. Was there ever petitions? Were there ever call-in campaigns to Nintendo of America asking for a U.S. localization of the Famicom first Fire Emblem game on the Famicom? I don't believe so. But somehow we got a localization of Fire Emblem for Famicom before a localization of Mother 3. I know it's not that simple, but it's just so crazy that Nintendo made something, even among Fire Emblem fans. I don't think anyone was even dared to imagine that was something that was on the table. Now, the colors seem a little more muted in this version, and I can't quite tell if that's just the Wii U's emulation as compared to the Nintendo Switch's emulation, because Versus Pinball, some of the colors are definitely different, but I can't quite tell if that's... I know some of the colors are just different. Like, the blue is a brighter blue. But then I'm not exactly sure if some of the emulation is a little muted on the Wii U in addition to that. And you notice there's not that warbling sound effect as you play the game in this. It's just silent except for the sounds of hitting the targets. The Versus system, when they would make ports from the NES or Famicom to the Nintendo Versus system, I believe the Versus system was obviously based on the NES or Famicom hardware, but I think it had slightly more RAM and could display a few more colors. So the arcade versions are a little sharper looking, and will have some additional things, because you have to remember, at the point that they were making games like this, like Pinball here, or the original Popeye conversion for NES, or the original Donkey Kong conversion for NES, NES I mean, the Famicom hardware, even, like, by the time, like, it took a technological enhancement in terms of the cartridge capacity just to even allow a game like Super Mario Brothers. When Famicom originally came out, they were not envisioning games of the scope of Super Mario Brothers. At this point, like, Famicom was made just kind of as a platform to port Nintendo arcade games to. I mean, just the fact that with the NES version of Donkey Kong, they had to cut the cement factory level because there wasn't enough space in the cartridge. That's how limited the capabilities of the Famicom were, and those limitations imposed by the cartridge space. Whereas very soon after, and that was actually part of what led to the Famicom Disk System. And I know there are interviews where they're saying that they envisioned Super Mario Brothers as the ultimate Famicom cartridge game. And to do anything greater in scale than that, they would need more space, which the discs would allow for in the Famicom Disk System. Whereas by the time they brought the NES to North America as the NES, the cartridge space had improved so much that the disk system wasn't even necessary anymore. So I could imagine even a simple game like this, when just having the slightly enhanced capabilities of the Versus System arcade cabinets, let them do things like the extra sound effects and so forth. And I did do the nicer, like, digital style, like the calculator-esque font. SNES was your first console? My first console was Game Gear. I knew of NES and Super NES and Genesis before. Now, 777. I got 777 on the slot machine. That got us the stopper there. Now, I'm going to have a good time right now because I'm in this version, in the NES version, oh gosh. If I got 3 penguins, the stopper would have appeared indefinitely, but that stopped the hole on the left on the upper screen, and the NES version, that warps you, getting the ball in that hole shoots the ball back up onto the upper table, whereas in the arcade version, getting in that hole will shoot you out of the bonus hole in the, oh no, we're already on PB territory for this copy of the game. Well, maybe because you grew up with Super NES, there's not as much room for nostalgia for it. Because I'm just looking at this version of Pinball. Like, this version of Pinball can really be compared... I believe this version of Pinball can be compared directly to something like the Intellivision Pinball game, which I will like to play on stream eventually. I have my my Intellivision flashback. Unfortunately, it's not HDMI out, so I'd have to use a converter. And I don't know... I haven't actually tested the converter yet. I'll have to see if the converter wants to play nicely with my Elgato. I did not have a Super Nintendo. I got my Super Nintendo in 2001, which at the time seemed like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this old school, like, retro system. But looking at it now, that would be like getting a PlayStation 3 now, which is kind of scary. Yeah, so at the time it seemed ancient, but looking back on it, the Super NES, I mean, the last major Super Nintendo release I could think of in North America, Kirby's Dream Land 3, that was 98. So that was only a few years before I got my Super Nintendo. Well, I loved, like, stuff like Kid Pick Studio on the Macintosh. So I definitely would have had fun with Mario Paint. And I knew of Mario Paint. Mario Paint was really... And I was a Sega kid growing up. I didn't have Genesis, but I did have Game Gear. But Mario Paint was one of the few Super Nintendo titles I really had a high degree of awareness of, as I can remember. Now, we're just going to... Yeah, I don't feel any difference in the ball physics. I think the difference is just in the point values of the targets and stuff like that. And when I do some more research, I'm going to be really excited to be able to actually add to the Strategy Wiki article for NES and Versus Pinball. Yeah, but it was cool last night. And for hopping, I did a random raid to a random person streaming pinball because it's like, it's interesting because pinball is like the pinball category. It's more active at night, which for a pinball table being associated with, like, you know, bars and stuff like that, is like fitting, and that's partially why I did want to do the pinball stream at night last night when I was doing the serious runs at Versus Pinball, and I do whenever I drop into a random pinball stream, it's always been really chill, that category. Whereas, if I was just going to do a random retro person, that could be anything. Whereas pinball category seems to be a little tight knit. You had an old Mac in the corner with a stack of burnt game backup floppies. Were they 5 1/4-inch discs? And I'm not trying to be. And was it a Mac or was it an Apple? Like, was it like a? No, because I just asked just to be clear, because some people like they just use Mac to describe any Apple computer, but then I just need to be specific just so I have a clear idea of what you're talking about. I'm not trying to be just a know-it-all like oh, do you mean the Macintosh or do you mean the pre-Macintosh Apple line? It was an Apple. All right, so it was probably an Apple II then, possibly an Apple II GS, which did have a graphical operating system available for it. I mean, there's this interesting, I don't know too much about it, but I've seen videos and read articles basically saying that the Apple II line would have been a more solid foundation for Apple to build its computer business on than the Macintosh line. But Steve Jobs personally wanted the Macintosh line to be the future of Apple, whereas there was so much more business waiting to be done with Apple II and successor Apple II systems, which kind of was realized slightly with the Apple II GS, which I believe was basically a 16-bit version of the Apple II, which was 8-bit. Yeah, I have an Apple II. I haven't set it up since I moved. It's still in storage, actually, but it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind not being rid of it and having the space, not having to worry about it, and making sure it's kept in good condition and making sure it's safe and everything. But on the other hand, to be completely honest, how do I put this? Like, if I wouldn't mind being rid of the Apple II. Like, if I could just press a button and be rid of it, I would. But I kind of don't want to, because I know that I would never rebuy an Apple II if I got rid of the one I have. I have an Apple II. I have an Apple II GS. I don't have any unique software for it or anything. I have an Apple II GS as well. That was actually from my neighbor's garbage, because I threw it out and I just took it. This is like, and I was, weirdly enough, it was in 2007. So it was right after I got my Apple II off eBay. My neighbor just happened to throw out their Apple II GS. And there's the same neighbor that when I got an NES, my friend was moving. They threw out their NES, and it was just sitting on top of the garbage. I asked if I could have it. They said I could have it. I took it home. My parents wouldn't let me have it at the time. Then oh, that's so cool. Your elementary school gave away your Apple IIs to any kids who wanted one for free when they upgraded to Macs. That is so cool. My school probably just threw them all out, because I remember even when I was in high school, we got these Dells, and in the computer lab, they just had all the Apple IIs just stacked up for like years. I think even up until I finally graduated. They just had these Apple IIs sitting there. And whenever kids would come up and like hit the keys on them, they would say, "Oh, don't touch those!" Like they had plans for them or something special was going to happen. They probably all got thrown out, frankly, though. None of the kids wanted them. That's too bad. Yeah, like, it's weird, the story. Like, my parents wouldn't let me have the NES my friend gave me when he moved. So I gave it to this friend who I was in the process of drifting apart from, because she was a girl and I was a boy, and she was a couple of years older than me. So between the gender gap and it was, when you're younger, being a couple of years apart in age is it can be much bigger of a deal. So we kind of drifted apart for a while, and then later on we kind of, came back in touch with each other. And so it wasn't like we got in a fight and we stopped hanging out or something like that. We were just kids going about our separate ways, and she was just more interested in hanging out with girls her own age, and I was more interested in hanging out with boys my age, because she was a couple years older than me. So, but anyway, I lost contact with her, and eventually a situation came about where they owed me I think I did a job cleaning their garage or something like that. And they wanted to pay me, and this is like, this is a few years, this is like only a few years after I gave them the NES, which I never even plugged in. It was just sitting in a room for years. And so at the time it seemed like a lifetime ago, in reality it was only a few years. But, they asked my parents, like, oh, we have this old Nintendo, like, that we don't play. Would your son want it? To my parents. And then they said yes. So I guess they just changed their mind at the time. I guess they just changed their mind by then. But the funny thing is, by the time they gave me that NES, I had already purchased an NES from a thrift store in Coney Island. You got an EMAC. Now that is interesting, because the EMAC was initially only available to schools, and then for a while it was available online only, but it wasn't widely. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to get your hands on an EMAC. But what happened? So by the time I went and got an NES, and I was with my mom, so she was like, "Okay, it's your own money, get the NES." And it wasn't like they had a vendetta against the NES. Just at the time they said no, and then later on, a few years later, they just changed their mind. And so I got an NES from a thrift shop. It was, from the flea market in Coney Island on Surf Avenue. And I got it home and it didn't work. So I sent it to Nintendo for repairs. And I was probably one of the last people to get their NES repaired by Nintendo. And when they sent it back, they actually sent it back with all of the NES-related pamphlets and accessories they had. They had this stuff, I guess, just sitting around. They were, like, so excited for a chance to give it away to someone, since they didn't have a chance to use that stuff anymore. You updated the RAM to max capacity. You couldn't even buy one with that much RAM. That's interesting. And then, so what happened? While my NES was sent away, that's when my friend, the neighbor who I kind of drifted apart with, they gave us back the NES I gave them originally. That was from my friend, my other friend who moved away. The NES worked, but at the time I didn't know how to set it up properly. So I thought it just was broken. And then when I got back the NES and it had all the cables and stuff I needed, then I realized how to actually set it up. And that NES is actually the NES from my friend is actually the main NES that I use. Well, I haven't plugged in the NES in years at this point. I plugged it up, I think, once or twice since... I played it once since I moved where I'm at now. And it's still sitting over there. It's yellowing, but I don't think it's from exposure to sunlight. Because there's not a... Yeah, I think it's just the plastic is just inevitably just decaying. But it plays fine still. Because the NES I bought, like, it has this weird thing where sometimes the cartridge mechanism kind of gets stuck, and I have to be a little rough with it to get the cartridge out. But what I do like is I just enjoy having an NES where I know the entire line of ownership of this NES. Because I got it from the original owner, and then I gave it to a friend who it just sat in their room for a few years, and then they gave it back to me. So it's just cool, even though I wasn't the original owner, I just, like, know the entire history of this particular system. Because they threw out that NES, this was, like, I think 97 when they threw it out, so the NES wasn't even, it wasn't retro or vintage then, it was just old. And in 2001, when I purchased my NES and got the other NES back from my friend, what was going on was I would just go around asking my friends, like, hey, do you have any NES games or whatever? And they would just give me their NES games. It was very easy to get NES stuff back then. Your only original piece of hardware you still have from childhood is your PS1? My PS1 stopped working even I think it was 99 it stopped working. Didn't even make it out of the 90s. I got it in 97 or 90. Yeah, I got it in late 97. And I remember, yeah. Do you know the story of how I got my PlayStation? Did I tell you that story, Serial Wars? Were you around for that? Because I could always tell that story. Because I don't mind telling it. It's a cool story. Now, first off, you need to drink more. And so used to my timer going off for other things that when it goes off for water, I sort of ignore it. It's a vibrating timer. You can't see it, but yeah, basically, I had N64. And I really loved Mischief Makers, which is a 2D platformer for the N64, and I really loved it. And I think I got some money from my grandma. My grandma gave me some money or something. And me and my brother, we went to like the one Funko Land in the region. It was like a half-hour drive to get to this Funko Land. Which, for living in a suburban area, a half-hour drive is a long time. When you live further out, a half hour isn't really that big a deal. But where I was at, like a half-hour drive just to get to a certain store was kind of a big deal. So it was like the one of like 2 or 3 Funko Lands in the entire county, right? And my county was bigger than most counties. Anyway. So we go. So it's kind of an event going to Funko Land. So we go to Funko Land. I'm gonna get Mischief Makers, and I was with my brother, and he was gonna get something too. He was gonna get an N64 game as well. And what we found is that they had a deal going on, where if you donated $50 for for some charity that was doing cancer research or something, then you would get a voucher that you could use to get a used PlayStation for only $50. So basically, it's a $100 used PlayStation. And so me and my brother both went there with $50 to spend, $50, and change to spend. And so we're like, I'm the one who made the decision. I was like, hey, let's darn, I was like a frame away from getting the points for Pauline, and it didn't happen. And so I'm like, hey, we both have $50. Let's pitch in together and get a PlayStation. Because we couldn't afford the games, but we already couldn't afford N64 games. We always rented our N64 games. So the fact that I was actually going to buy Mischief Makers because I was renting it so much was kind of a big deal. I think it would have been the third N64 game I ever got after Star Fox 64. Well, Mario 64, then Star Fox. My dad got it just because it was so popular. We couldn't rent it at Blockbuster. It was always sold out. Then what happened was we pitched in together to get the PlayStation, the used PlayStation. And I didn't know. I knew about Final Fantasy. I heard about Final Fantasy 3, and I'm like, wait, why is there Final Fantasy 7? Like they just went straight from 3 to 7? And I didn't know much about it. I just knew Final Fantasy 3 was a big deal on Super Nintendo. And I knew Final Fantasy 7 was like on all the magazines, and there were commercials for it on TV. It was like the first video game release I can remember that was really treated like a big blockbuster event, right? And so we went, we got the PlayStation, we got Mom to take us to Blockbuster on the way home, and we rented Crash Bandicoot 2 and Final Fantasy 7, and they threw in, I think, the interactive CD demo disc for the PlayStation. They threw in the demo disc, and so we got Crash Bandicoot 2 and Final Fantasy 7. And I think the first game we actually put in was Final Fantasy 7. And I had never played a turn-based RPG before, but it was mind-blowing, the CG cutscenes. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy to be like, why would you care so much about graphics that you can't even play the game? Like stuff you can't even play. But just seeing the CG cutscenes was so incredible in a video game back then. It made it such a cinematic experience. And just knowing nothing about the game, and you pull out on the shot of Midgar, and when you see Aerith's face in the Mako stream coming from the pipe and everything, and then it just goes to the battle screen, and I'm like, Okay, and one thing I do like about this version of Pinball is that you can actually pause the game. In Versus Pinball, there are ways to pause it, but in high score mode on Versus Pinball on the Switch, you cannot pause the game. If you pause the game in any way, it makes you restart from the beginning. Whereas if you play in regular mode, if you stop the game, you will let you recontinue. But in high score mode, for fairness sake, you won't let you pause it if there was no pause feature in the original game. And so I really didn't know what to make of. All right. Let's see how many points I can get in just under 30 seconds. Because I am going to go ahead and stop the game when the timer reaches 0. And 4, 3. Can I get 3,000? Hey, 38. Can I get 4,000? Oh, 4,080 points. Just as the timer reaches 0. So I will be going through the VOD and recording my scores that I got in the stream today. Now, let's set the timer for... Well, first, while I'm still here, why don't I just go ahead and adjust my game volume for... I'm just looking at my notes here. I have a text document with... I need to set my volume for 26.5 for Mario Party Advance. Where is it? Okay, so... Because that game's a lot louder than this. 26.5. And my microphone volume's going to stay the same. I really mess with my mic volume. I maxed out my mic volume for the stream yesterday because I was sitting so far back from the mic as compared to normal, whereas typically I'm sitting right up in front of it. So I will be... I might as well... get it queued up on the menu. And then I'll be gone for 6 minutes, 5 for you. I set it for 6 minutes so I have the extra minute to get back to this. But I will be... Let's see. I want... Alright, so I'm going to... I'll be back in 6 minutes, and we're gonna play at least an hour of Mario Party Advance. Let me change the stream title now. Alright, there we go. Come see Mario Party Advance, and I will be back in 6 minutes. Hey, I'm back. Alright. I really don't even need... You know, this is gonna sound weird, but... For whatever reason, I never set the on-screen, my timer on my computer to have an audible bell. So I'd have to set another timer. I'm still using 3 different timers, but now I could get rid of one of them and replace it with the one that's already on the computer. Okay, there we go. Alright. So, it's on screen for me, but not for you. But we're going to get into Mario Party Advance. I haven't played this. I had a couple of sessions of this, then put it down for a long time. Which, I was... You know, maybe I'm trying to spread myself too thin with too many different games at once. But, hopefully this works out alright. Now, if my audio isn't balanced properly, let me know. But it should be good between my voice and the game. And we have to go scroll past the health and safety warning, because this was the health and safety era of Nintendo systems where they built it into the DS, was the first system to have it built in. Then we had it built in. And even from about 2004 on, late 2004, even Game Boy Advance games were having the health and safety warning built into them. But it was software based. I'm going to turn down my personal audio a bit on my PC. There we go. Welcome to Party World. Now, Party World... I mean, the game... Mario Party Advance takes place in Party World. And in Party World, there are all these different places to play in. But we're going to go into Shroom City, which is the main adventure campaign. Which is... I remember last... What? Someone was saying that, like, Mario Party Advance got a worse score than Mario Pinball Land, which is crazy, because... I hear people complain about Mario Party Advance for not being like the 2D, like being like the 3D home console Mario parties. Mario Party, no, Mario Pinball Land, I've heard nothing good about at all. But somehow Mario Pinball Land has a better, score, Metacritic score, than Mario Party Advance, which I think is ridiculous. Now, I haven't actually played Mario Pinball Land, so... I'm gonna have to play that Weeping Thwomp. Shroomlot's Quest. I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually doing right now. What am I don't know what I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's the dangers of leaving mid. Let's go in here and see what's going on. Ehehe, it's ghastly news. Solve the crime to get a gadget. You can only accept one quest. I don't know what the quest I'm currently doing is, though. Quest data? Oh, probably a robbery. That's the one I'm doing now. And this was... I'm like, hold on. If I get rid of... I just want to try something spur of the moment. Oh, hey, no. Where's the box art for Mario Party Advance? If I make that go away. Okay. How high up does my webcam? Okay, it's only going... I'm trying this live. I'm going to see... If I never tried this before. Yeah, my chair is kind of boxed into where I'm at now, so I can't quite... I'm just having... Okay, I'm just... Basically what's going on is I'm having weird symptoms from sitting down, even though these weird symptoms I only have while I'm streaming. I'm using this exact same setup, only while I'm streaming. I'm having, like, tingling in my cheeks and stuff, and it's like... Why? Why do I have these physical symptoms only while I'm streaming? And no other time when I'm using this exact same setup, using the same monitors, the same equipment, and only while I'm live, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't... Do I dare? I'm just trying to think of what... I don't have anything... I don't have the means to make my monitor tall enough. I've tried every combination of... and it's not my back. It's not like my back hurts. That's... Like, I've tried... And this is just the lumbar rest that comes with the seat. But the thing is, those are the same cushions I'm using every other time that I'm sitting on the chair. I'm sorry this became, like... Put a box in me. I don't have a box that's stable enough to safely put it under my monitor at like unexpectedly. Yeah, I don't have a... Yeah, I'm looking around. I don't have anything stable enough for me to do that, especially not live. And then I also have to make my webcam a little higher. If I'm so close, you could see where my chin cuts off. If it was that much higher, at least you could still get my face in the shot. If I'd have to... Can I even... I'd have to lift? Okay. But the thing is, what vitamin could I possibly take? Like, what vitamin would I be deficient in where I have no symptoms at any point in my life or daily routine until I go live, and then I have these problems? If it was a problem I had in general with sitting down, okay, sure. But it just does not add up. I'm looking for... I have a... Okay. This is now like a live setup experimentation scene. I have this long tube. The tube I'm using... This tube might be too long. This might be too tall. I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of crazy effects right now because I'm gonna move my webcam right now. I have to drop it through this tube. Okay. Drop it through this new tube now. Okay. Let's get a sense of where this is. Is this about just right? No, it's unless it's tilt. Tube is going to tilt. Use the top of the chair as a reference to where... Okay, so at least I'm in frame, pretty much. Alright. Alright, so... I'm standing... Am I gonna have to... Did the camera somehow de-invert? Because I thought I had it set up so that... There we go. Alright. Now, I'm gonna have to lift the lift. This is... If I bundle this, I could destroy everything in my room pretty much. I can't believe I'm doing this live. Okay. This is where my chair is kind of cornered into this little booth-like area in the room. Alright, I've successfully lifted and put down the chair without destroying everything. Alright. Okay, now I have space to stand in. Okay. So now I just have to raise the monitor. That won't do it enough. Okay, I would do right. Let's see. I'm gonna go to my hold screen, and I'll be back in a minute. Because the Wii U is falling asleep from me not touching anything. So I will be back. I will just actually, what I will do is I'll hide the timer, and I will. Okay, I'm back, but the thing I got a shipping container, a storage container, to put my TV on, but it is okay. It's blocking me a little bit, the monitor, but it's at perfect eye level for me. All right. This is all. Well, let's get the box back. Let's see if I could set my camera up. Just scroll that down, crop it up a bit. I need to see the top of my head, do you? Okay. Scroll it down a bit. And this will not count towards the hour. Yeah. Alright. I'm in frame, alright. I just have to prop it up. Unfortunately, I am, just to undo what I'm feeling right now, or what I felt, I'm going to be back in another 5 minutes, because I need to, from sitting down, I feel like I've sat down for like 5 hours. Like, it feels... So I'm gonna just take a stretch and break and stuff, and come back and try this again. Because if this works as good as I heard it's supposed to, I could possibly stream for a long time like this. I'm not gonna try to push it, but I will be back. Okay, I'll be back, and just gotta. Okay. Rest break and turn on the timer again. And so I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I just had to reset the microphone because my microphone is now resting atop of a jar of cocoa butter and then a cardboard tube. Yes, like a lot of my setup is just sort of cardboard tubes and jars of cocoa butter with equipment sitting on top of it. Now, let's go back to the game. Oh, where's the game? There's the game. Alright. And I'm setting my timer for 60 minutes, and we're going to give this another shot with my new standing setup that I just sort of made on the fly. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually just going back to the house. No, it's not. Is it the bank? Or do I don't know if it's... So have you ID'd the culprit? Oh, you haven't spoken to everyone yet. Go talk to Goombob, Paratrooper, and Mr. I. Oh yeah, that's where I was going. I was going to Mr. I's house. Alright. That's one thing. It is kind of hard to, Now, would I like the idea of playing Mario Party 1 over the internet? It sounds interesting. If it were... I never really dabbled in, like, you know, PC emulation online gaming stuff, so... Alright. Oh, we're going to see Mr. I, and by sheer coincidence we get a sort of spooky themed, Oh my gosh. Oh... I thought these would act like regular okay, I just forget how these minigames work, because they don't act like normal boos where you look at them and they freeze in place. They just keep chasing you. I'm probably going to get a game over, actually. Let's see. I know I certainly feel better already, standing. But it's so weird, because everything I do on computers is done in that setup. Does this game have link cable stuff? It does, but it's kind of limited compared to what you might expect. Would I like to stop here? Yes, I would. Yeah, I'm Mr. I. What do you want? How's it go? Where's the money? How's it going or leave? Where's the money? What? Are you calling me a crook? I was in the bank, but I saw nothing. It was dark, so I just stayed where I was. Sorry, I'm just moving my timer over to my head. It was dark, so I just stayed where I was. Oh, but I did hear some coins jingling. And that's all I've got to say to you, see? Okay, so there's Mr. I. There's the... Who are the other characters? Interview Goombob, Paratrooper, and Mr. I. Where's Paratrooper at? You have to find where Paratrooper's at. Is he in this forest area? I haven't even been over here yet. I'm guessing a Wiggler lives here. Pedal House? I'm guessing a Wiggler lives there. Ever had... Oh yeah, you never had music like this dynamic on Game Boy Color. The graphics are... You know, it's funny because I think one of the reviews said the graphics weren't impressive for the Game Boy Advance. Like, someone in chat was reading up some of the comments, much of reviews, and like the reviews were like, what are these people thinking? They were saying that the graphics weren't good for the GBA this late in the GBA's lifespan. But this is around the same time as Minish Cap came out, and people said that had great graphics. I don't see how Minish Cap's graphics are significantly worse or better than the graphics in, Alright. Where's the Paratrooper? Is he in the ocean area? Chain Chomp. Goomba House train station. The game rooms. Mushroom Condo. Who? Oh, there's just a list of all the... From Koopa Farmhouse. This is a much easier way to find Blue Cemetery, Ice Game Room, Ice Stadium, Frostbite, Pipe House, Piranha Plant, The Hammer, Pokey, Pyramid, Klepto Ruins, Bowser Stadium, Yukiki House, Paddle House, Spear Ticket, Lock Dory, Bowser Hideout, Bowser Lab, Bowser Game Hall, Sushi Cliff, Sandy Beach, Lakitu House, Where's Paratroop, Goomba House, Train Station, Shroomlock House, Vending Machines, Mushroom Counter, Bomb Avenue, Item Shop, Babamba, Koopa Bank, Thwomp House, Goombob Manor. We have to go see Goombob eventually, but he's in the town area, I know. Duke Nukem Forever is a terrible game, but it's 10 out of 10, so much fun playing it. Playing that mess. I remember... I don't know, it's just such a weird... Like I said, like, a game I've heard far worse criticism of than this. That being Mario Pinball Land apparently got a better rating than this game did. So, Bowser Mansion, Bowser Toy Stop, Bowser Bit, Mr. I, Blue Cemetery. Where's Paratroopa? I don't see a house that says Paratroopa on it. Shroomlock, Goombob, Paratrooper, and Mr. I guess if I go to... I guess I can go to the character list. If I didn't even meet him yet, there's no F-G-H-H-A-K. Paratrooper. Wait. O-N-N-O. Paratrooper. Runs junk, the item superstore. Okay, so I have to go to the... So I have to... I mean, that's a... Oh, really? That's... So that's how you're gonna... Yeah, that's the one thing. It's very easy to game over here. I'm gonna go back to the same quest I was at before and see if I can finish it up. Flutter on the 3rd floor is in love, but who's the object of her affection? I mean, the thing is, I remember that the junk shop owner was a paratrooper, but I can't necessarily... Yeah, I died. By running out of dice. But, which is the only way you could really die in this game. But it's just so odd to me, I guess, just thinking that... Oh, great. I should have went the way I was going. Ta-da, it's me, Koopa Kid. Hooray for me. Imagine running into you here. You know, bad things happen when you run into me. Let's see, what bad thing should I do? What should I do to you this time? Rochambeau, let's play rock, paper, scissors. If you win, I won't do a thing. Oh, but if you lose, okay, here we go. Rock. A draw. Okay, one more time. Rock. Ah, you got me. So frustrating. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are out of the ocean area, and it's time to play a minigame to get some more mushrooms. That's one thing I regret about this layout is the monitor I'm playing on is right in front of me. The monitor that's attached to the computer that's running my broadcast software is down low, so I do have to kind of look down to see it. Goal: reach the end before time runs out. This is not so hard. I mean, I've won this minigame every time I've played it, so. And that's the one thing, criticism I'll make, and that's not something I've seen other people say in their criticisms, is that, at least in official reviews, is that the minigames either seem too easy or too hard, and there's very little in between. Oftentimes it's just one or the other, and it's... Now, I've basically got this minigame, like, I can't lose at this point. I mean, that's a cool idea for a minigame, but it's kinda really hard to lose. You get 3 mushrooms? Okay. Mr. Blizzard is up at the ballpark. If you like baseball, drop in and say hi. Now, I do want to do the bank heist quest. Oh, again. Ta-da, it's me, Koopa Kid, away from me. Okay, Warp, this time I'm going to send you flying, or rather Bowser will. This is the first time I've gotten a mini Bowser Kid event other than having to play rock, paper, scissors with him. Gwahaha, this will be a real blast. You're in for a whole lava trouble. Please warp me someplace useful. Wow, that was actually a favorable... That actually saved me a lot of mushrooms, so I don't mind at all. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a second. Where am I? Okay, I have to get way up there, too. Yeah, that saved me a lot of trouble, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, just enough spots to get to the bank. The overview map. Yeah, it's very detailed, which, if it wasn't for that overview map, I really wouldn't have even been able to get back on track in terms of what I'm doing right now. Please, won't you help to Koopa out? Of course. Probably a robbery. Yes, I'll give you a gadget if you do it. I called the police, but they have never came. Sorry, I'm late. The lighting effects are unique. Well, I believe, like in scenes like this, I think this is all just sort of a pre-rendered, like, pixel art scene. I don't think any of these pixels are able to move, other than the Koopa and Toad, Sherlock Toad sprites. Well, I've got a flat, ran out of gas, and forget about it, just find the thief. And please, get my bank's coins back. First, you should tell me what happened. Oh yeah, well the power went out. Ah, so the lights had gone out. And when they came back on, all the coins in the safe were gone. Now, I do like how... You want to rip the assets for using pixel art? No, this is some high There's one scene where they give you like a 3D isometric view of a room, and I'm like, I really wish they made a Mario game with this isometric view like this. Yeah, that Koopa running around would be a good gif. And you know, it's kind of funny, I just thought of this. In Mario Party 2, it's a Koopa Troopa, a green-shelled Koopa Troopa that runs all the banks. So I wonder if this is a kind of a reference to that. Yes, 3 people. Goombob, Paratroopa, and Mr. I. Call it a hunch, but one of them did it. What? It was a customer? Let me ask, did you see the door open at all? No, I would have seen the light if it had. That means the criminal was already inside. Tell me, where are those 3 now? They left after the power came back on. Luigi, would you go question the suspects? If I talk to them, I'll know who did it. I'd be glad to. I do it, but my car's piece of junk. Crooks always lie, so just find the liar. Go talk to Goomba, Paratroopa, and Mr. I. We already talked to Mr. I. I don't think he said anything particularly interesting. Right now, I don't think it was him, though. There we go. You had no idea Luigi was a detective? Yeah, okay, we had you have to go into the item shop and talk to the Paratroopa. Welcome to Junk, the item superstore. That's such weird writing to me. It says, welcome... The fact that the store is called Junk, but that's not important in any way, but they just have it in there, so it's like, welcome to Junk, the item superstore. Oh, you're not here to shop? What is it? Where's the money? Oh, the whole incident shocked me, honestly. I was so scared that I dropped to the floor. But I did see a gleam of coins. That's all I remember, though. Sorry. Things have been rough since I opened up. Nah, just kidding. Things are great. Sleepy train station H. Do I look sleepy? Okay, let me get over to... I know where Goomba... I remember exactly where Goombab's house is. Are you just kidding? Okay. I am Goombub. What can I do for you? Where's the money? How's it going? And leave. Where's the money? About the robbery? I don't know anything. It was black as night in there, truly. When it went dark, I heard the safe open. But that's all I know, and I didn't do it. Okay. Oh wait, actually, I had the chance to ask something else, but now I have to spend another mushroom just to go into the house. I wasn't expecting you to give me the chance to ask more questions. Alright. There's a possibility of him rushing at me and biting me. And if that happens, I'll lose the game. I believe. Yeah, I think he could run out and bite me, but the instructions don't really say that. He's a mushroom kingpin. You won the minigame. Okay, let's go back in and talk to him. You won 6 mushrooms. Wow. That's a lot. Would I like to stop here? You already beat the quest for the spot. Going anyway. Yes. I'm Goodbye. Nice to meet you. So I can only talk to them in relation to the quest one time. I talked to all 3 characters. I mean, I had a chance to play. I think Mr. I did it. If you're being completely honest with you, you would love for new games to be released with these graphics. Oh no, I would too, and that's kind of one of the things I regretted about the loss of the 3DS, is that the 3DS was kind of the last standover where there was a divisions within Nintendo that were dedicated to producing games with sprite-based artwork. And Nintendo really hasn't explored sprite-based artwork in HD. They've really just only done that on the 3DS, DS, GBA. And so now that everything is on Switch, even if it is a smaller scale game, it tends to use, 3D assets. Talk to Boombox or... Oh, Okay, it's gonna make me talk to all 3 of them. I actually have to talk to all 3 of them in the game itself. Okay. Switch way. This is a game. This is a tough game. This is not a pushover game. I failed this more often than succeed, because if you mess up just a couple of times, you're done. Alright. Yeah, you have a very narrow margin of error. And, oh my gosh. See, look. That right there, that might have cost me the whole game. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this would be a fair game, you just need more time. There we go. Because you have to memorize, you basically have to have memorized which way to go, which is really, I don't think, fair in this type of a game. Is the challenge supposed to be memorization? Look at this. I just barely made it. I barely made that one. Hey, Kalaka boy. Your phone battery died, so you had to wait till you get to the computer? Well, I played, a half hour of NES Pinball, then I started Mario Party Advance, and I started getting those dumb symptoms again, like I'd been sitting down all day, and these things that only happen while I'm streaming. Not when I'm making layouts, when I'm writing, when I'm doing business, when I'm watching YouTube videos, anything else that uses this setup. So, spur of the moment, I grabbed some cardboard tubes and an overturned storage container, and made a standing up setup. I did it actually live on stream. You can look back on the VOD on that later. And I was able to actually get it done pretty good. And so I'm standing now, and the effects are much less severe. And okay, so we have to go all the way to Mushroom Bank now. There we go. Save us a mushroom. Save another mushroom. 1, 2, 3. I wish I could have got... If I got more there. It's here they had inspiration for the Smash Melee's minigame. I'll be back in 10 minutes? Alright. Yeah, Mr. I. What do you want? Oh yeah, like the Board the Platforms game? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yeah, I never really thought of that before. But, hey, I'm Mr. I. What do you want? Where's the money? What? Are you calling me a crook? I was in the bank, but I saw nothing. It was dark, so I just stayed where I was. Oh, but I did hear some coins jingling. And that's all I've got to say to you, see? How's it going? Ask something else. Well, I think I might need glasses, but that's none of your business. Really leave. Okay. Yay, it's Tumble and not stupid Bowser Kid. Alrighty, you'll play Baboom. Let's play. Be the target score before time runs out. Which game is this? Oh, this game can be really tough. Last time I got this, I think I failed. Wow, that was... Getting all 4 at once got me extra points, and that put me a lot closer towards, yeah, last time I just couldn't get the timing down, and I ended up losing. I only have to get a few more, and I'll be good. Now there are a lot more targets, but there are also a lot more chances to get points. So. All right, we're good. I don't know, just the fact that the time that the bomb takes to explode is inconsistent makes it kind of unfair to me. You beat it, congrats. As I promised, here are 2 mushrooms. See you later. Mushroom challenge. Time for another minigame already. And we're getting... Vroom Zoom, the one I could nearly beat with my eyes closed. That's what I said, like, some of these minigames are just too easy or too hard. Like, the platform minigame, I barely won. I barely got lucky with that one. Because you really have to have them way memorized. And I don't think that challenge is supposed to be a memorization challenge. It's just supposed to be a platforming challenge, right? But then this one, I'm already... Like, it's so easy to get... I've won already. I can't lose. I'm just... Let's see how many I can get. Yeah, look at all the points I got with my eyes closed. I don't even have the board. I've already doubled the amount of points they want me to get to beat this minigame. So that was just too easy. You get 3 mushrooms. You got double-digit mushrooms, not for long, but still. It's always a good feeling to have double-digit mushrooms, because you really... It's very easy to lose. If I run out of mushrooms, the game's over. Including whatever quest I happen to be in the middle of. Oh, darn it. Okay, it's Bowser Kid. Alright. This is a tougher one, so hopefully we do alright. If not, we're going to lose a mushroom. You see the use of Mario Party 4 music? Oh my. Oh my gosh. Yay, only 6 more. I guess I have to herd them into corners? Okay. 3. I've lost this minigame before, so it's not as easy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose this with 2 left. Oh! Oh. Like, I don't know, I just feel like these minigames seem so much harder than so many other Mario Party minigames I've played when they're hard. I feel like it's just not quite balanced right. Like, if they made it so I could herd the rabbits a bit more, but they don't act like they're herdable. Alright, so... Alright. We're gonna go... We have to go back... Now that we've gotten... No, this is the horror area. I've talked to Mr. R. We need to go back to the bank. Oh, you're back? Thanks for helping. So what did they say? I see. Have you figured out who did it? Not yet, but I'm very close. Please tell me who you think the culprit is. I think it's Mr. I? Something doesn't sound right here. Are you sure you've thought this out? So you couldn't solve the mystery. Sorry, I can't... Well, you said you didn't... Okay. You said you didn't know who. You'll have to try again from the start. That was garbage. I have to go and talk to all 3 of them again. Yeah, that was legit garbage, okay? I'm gonna do this again, but I'm going to save state right before this. Because the clues, I don't know if it wasn't translated quite right, but there's no clear indication that it's like, okay, this person's lying. See, like, things are inconsistent. Like in that minigame, getting hit by the chain chomp just cost you a few moments of time. But then in other minigames, getting hit by an enemy will instantly end the game. And it's like weird inconsistencies like that that I think are the problems with this game, and not the things that I typically hear people talk about. So I might play that minigame, and then if I played the minigame where I'm walking the chain chomp, I might think, oh, if he hits me, I'm just going to lose time. But I think if he bites you in that game, you instantly lose the entire game. Alright. I have to use a mushroom just to go back in to the bank. Good heavens, I've been robbed. Yeah. And the gambling minigames are rubbish too. I save stated for the gambling minigames, and because I've read all 3 of these clues aren't good enough to give me a clear idea of who's doing it. So I'm gonna save state for this too. I mean, I've already gotten 1 out of 3. I'm just not visiting all 3 characters 2 more times. I don't remember having this problem with this particular game last time. I do remember the gambling minigames being BS. Because it's a game of chance. You're at the mercy of sheer chance. And you just have to keep trying until you win. And it's not satisfying. If it was a skill stop slot machine, okay, then at least there's skill involved. But that was just literally like scratching lottery tickets hoping you win. And the car speeds and jump. Talk to those 3 characters. Alright. Just get a little water. Bunny belt. This is a pretty easy game because you have to. This is one that could have been harder because you just have to keep repeating the same sequence of inputs over and over. Right, left, up, A. Right, up, left, A. Right, up, left, A. Right, up, left, A. Right. What is it? What? Why is it? I was very specifically put... I don't know... I've actually never lost this minigame before. I don't know why... It was the controller? Like, that was weird. Like, it was the exact same input. I was putting it in, but... Oh well. Baby Bowser shows up way too often on these minigame spots because these are supposed to be a good thing to run into, but I feel like maybe 50% of the time, or maybe more often than not, I run into Baby Bowser instead of the helpful character who's supposed to give me mushrooms. Okay. And if I beat this, I only get 1 mushroom, so... Okay. I mean, I made it look easy there, but that game can get very challenging sometimes with the button combinations they give you. And the bigger the fish, the more challenging the button combination. So it can come down to the wire sometimes. That one I think is fairly well balanced. I still don't appreciate that it was Baby Bowser and not Tumble. That should be like a 1 out of 10 chance, not a 50-50 chance. Yeah, Mr. I, what do you want? Where's the money? What? Are you calling me a crook? I was in the bank, but I saw nothing. It was dark, so I just stayed where I was. Oh, but I did hear some coins jingling. That's all I've got to say to you, see? Okay. Once I'll... And here's that Stompbot XL game. Let's see if we get it. Sort Stack. This game can be hard, but I think it's fair by a narrow margin, but even it can be tough because the controls can be a little tricky. And if you don't start making matches, you run out of time very quickly. Like, the first time I played this, I didn't have the controls down yet, and I wasn't looking in advance to see which moves I need to make, so I ended up losing that time. Get 3 mushrooms. Nice. Now, I could guarantee you, if I was still sitting down, there's no way I could still be streaming at this point. Hey, Tumble. You want a minigame? I'll give you 2 mushrooms. Are you ready? You'll play Fling Shot. In this game, I've lost. Okay. Okay. I kind of just don't know what to expect from this, though, because, like, the first time I ever played this, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I felt helpless there. I didn't feel like I was playing. I just felt like, you lose. like, that is a good idea for a minigame, but I don't feel like it's executed fairly. Like, I lost, but I didn't feel like I lost because I was bad at the game. I feel like I lost because the game isn't clear on how it wants me to move and what it wants me to do. So... 1, 2. See, look, here's freaking Koopa Kid again. He appears way too often. Now, this is a minigame I usually win, so the only time I ever lost this is I was deliberately trying to show off, pretty much. I was just standing close to the beam to get bonus points. Which is easy enough to do earlier on. I mean, the margin... I guess I was standing too close, because all those times, I believe I did get bonus points for standing close to the electricity. Just in time to see you... just to see you. Yeah. But, dang, that's my mushroom. Fine, take it. Mushroom challenge time. Time for a regular minigame. Shell stack. This is a fun minigame. I don't think I've ever lost this, but it still feels very challenging, and it feels satisfying. It's come down to the wire a few times since I've started playing this. You can get into a rhythm, but if you get off that rhythm... I mean, it takes time to... I mean, it's just a... Yeah, the more... Each time you let one of those... You miss one, it wastes time. And it can come down to the wire sometimes. If I miss a few. Now the interesting thing about this is kind of like if the one-player minigames from Mario Party 1 were more fleshed out. Because in Mario Party 2, they basically replaced the single-player minigames with the item minigames. Yeah, no place cool we can go with that, but... Wait, item shop. Go to the item shop. Welcome to Junk the Item Superstore. Yeah, we have to redo all this. Yes, and shocked me. Honestly, I was so scared that I dropped to the floor. And now, am I supposed to believe that it's impossible for him to drop to the floor because he has wings? Because he has wings, but he could clearly just not fly and just land on the ground. Oh, but I did see a gleam of coins. Ask something else? Hey, Pablo the Bear, well, thank you. Oh, and the donates and the sub. Thanks a lot. Are you a fan of Mario Party Advance in particular? Because I know this game doesn't get a whole lot of play on, this game doesn't get a whole lot of play on Twitch, and it often goes, I think kind of... I mean, there are a lot of frustrating things about it, but I think it gets a lot of heat, just for, not being like the traditional home console Mario Party games. Oh, Kaleka Boy, thanks, for the sub. Yeah, you gifted you gifted, Pablo, you subbed and gifted a sub to Kaleka Boy. Thank you very much. I think that might be the first gift sub on my channel? Yeah, first time for everything. So, you're throwing a lot of love at me, kind of out of nowhere. Not that, I mean, everyone's new at some point, but are you a particular fan of this game or something like that? Or something else? Of course, don't feel obligated to answer that if you're not into participating in chat. Now, this is a puzzle game kind of thing. There's no time limit, which takes a lot of the stress out of it. The main way to get... How you're going to get most of the points is by you have to line up the Koopa shells, and eventually you'll get a red Koopa shell that'll mash through all the Koopa shells you've gotten. I'm kind of taking a bit of a risk. I'm doing a Tetris-like thing where I'm just lining up a bunch and hoping I do get a Tetris eventually. Sideways matches do count towards this, fortunately. It's a very permissive puzzle game, I guess just because there's not much... So we're a third of the way there already. There we go. Yeah, already a third of the way there. And... yeah, we'll just... oh, I didn't mean to quite do that, but... fortunately this is... we have all the time we need. Yeah, we're just gonna match these two. And... yeah, I don't have any place good to put that. But here I can get rid of those. And get rid of... oh, never played, but it looks fun? Oh, you heard of this game. Yeah, this game is interesting. Because they decided to... they could have tried to just make a 2D version of Mario Party, right? But what they did instead, at least this is my take, is that they tried to play to the strengths of the Game Boy Advance. Like, they knew that there's no way... if they tried to... they could have made a sprite-based version of traditional, like, N64 GameCube Mario Party. But it wouldn't have been that great. And they knew... I guess they figured realistically, most people are going to probably be playing the single player most of the time. So they focused on the single player aspect. And there's this very large adventure map where you go on... oh, I didn't mean to hit that. You look at this huge single board game map thing. With all these themed areas. There's an ice area, a desert area, there's like a seaside area, and right now I'm in this town area. And you go for all quests on all these different characters. The ones with this flashing star are the ones I've already completed. And this is the first time I've played this since... it's really the first time I played this since about 2005, this single player mode. I played some of the other modes since then. But I never played through the single-player adventure map since I first got the game. I'm playing this on the Wii U. I'm playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I'm playing with the Wii U Pro Controller. And I haven't been streaming for too long. This is my 53rd stream. I started back in May, and I really did want, even before streaming was a thing, I always wanted to share this game online and sort of demonstrate, I think, the positive aspects of it, because this game gets a lot of unfair criticism, I think, from people who got this expecting a 2D version of traditional Mario Party. But what they made instead, I think, is really worthwhile. But I think the main problem is with the mini-games. Sometimes, a lot of times they're either too hard or too easy, or sometimes they have inconsistent, like, game design language between them. Like in one mini-game, a chain chomp will bite you, and it will just cost you some time. And you have to get to the end of the course before the time runs out. And then in another minigame that involves chain chomps that also has a time limit, if the chain chomp bites you, you instantly lose the entire minigame. So there's just little things like that that are sort of unpolished, I think. But overall, I do think this is worthwhile. About the robbery, I don't know anything. Now, I lost this minigame already, but basically I had to go around and interview those 3 different characters, and then I have to go back to the bank. I started this minigame at the bank, and someone robbed the bank. I have to go across the map to these 3 different characters, and all the characters have their own spot on the map, so I had to travel between them in order to interview all of them, and now I'll be asked to say who I think is responsible. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the... lately what I've been playing, and I actually did this, my stream last night was like this. I've been playing, and earlier I was playing the NES version of this. I've been really into the NES pinball game that Satoru Iwata helped programmed. I was into the NES version for years, and I recently discovered the Nintendo Switch version, which was the Nintendo Switch has a port of the arcade version of Pinball, which is enhanced with different additional features. And the cool thing about the arcade game is that the arcade version of Pinball, which is called Versus Pinball after the Nintendo Versus arcade system, Versus Pinball has, on the Nintendo Switch, it has online leaderboards. I'm currently at 84th place, and I have, so I've been collecting a lot of data. I want to eventually be able to contribute to the Strategy Wiki article for NES and Versus Pinball. They share an article on Strategy Wiki. Strategy Wiki has helped me improve my game a lot, but there's not as much information about the arcade version, and there's definitely information about the arcade version that is not on there yet that I've already discovered. So I want to learn more about the game, and I also am collecting a lot of statistics like my average score, my rate of improvement, how much I have to improve to go up another spot in the leaderboard rankings, and so forth. So we know Mr. I didn't do it. And also, the one thing I will say is a definite negative, there are some gambling minigames. Oh, thanks for the extra 15 bits. But there are some gambling minigames in this, where the whole quest is you have to play a gambling game and get one more coin than what you started off with. And these are often sheer games of chance. There's one where you're just scratching off lottery tickets and betting on the lottery tickets. And it's sheer chance, and it's not really fair. It's just, you're just a victim of chance. So I went ahead and made a save state and cheated a bit, because the Wii U Virtual Console for Game Boy Advance games does allow for making save states. I haven't used PC. Oh, I've been playing a DOS game lately, too. I started playing my first DOS game. I first played it back in the 90s. And it's a game that has sort of a creepypasta-ish fourth wall breaking backstory to it. And this is in the 90s. This is before the term creepypasta was a thing. But until very recently, there was no coverage of this game other than my own webpage about it. And about 5 years ago, so fairly recently, someone made a YouTube video about it, so it has this cult following because of that, but before that, it was pretty much unknown. That was 2 streams ago now. But, something doesn't sound right here. Are you sure you've thought this out? So you couldn't solve the mystery. Alright. So we're going to... Okay. We have to... We're gonna have to load the restore point again. Okay. So we're gonna go into the bank. Oh man, yeah, Helios, you can look at my stream of it. I also did a reading of the mysterious... It's basically a very abstract maze game for DOS. And there's sort of a mystery element to it. And I've never solved... I've had the ending spoiled for me. I elected to spoil myself on the ending. But I actually got closer... I got further in the game than I ever have before. Oh, you're back. Thanks for helping. So what did you see? I see. You figured it out. Oh, not yet, but I'm very close. Tell me who you think the culprit is. We'll try Koopa this time. Yes, I came to the same conclusion. What? A paratrooper? No, he's my cousin. Well, he lied during questioning. He lied? Yes, he said he saw the coins gleaming, but it was totally dark at the time. He couldn't have seen a thing. Alright, I get the logic, but they didn't... The way they wrote his dialogue when I interviewed Paratroopa, he didn't really... I think it was a slight suboptimal translation. They didn't really... I guess it's fair enough, and I just didn't see it. But you see, Paratroopa is the guilty party. That's right, I stole the coins. I'm guilty. I just wanted to mess with them. It was just a joke. Sorry about that. I literally robs a bank. It was just a prank, bro. Detective, could you let Paratroopa go? He's always been a prankster. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking out the VOD, because basically the backstory of this, the fourth wall backstory, is that this game was left on the computer of the person who released it, because this was traded around on floppy disks back in the 90s, and the alleged origin of the game was that this game appeared on someone's computer after a close encounter with alien visitors to his home. And so the idea is that the game was made by aliens, and there's a sort of puzzle. The main game is a puzzle, where you have to match these glyphs up, and at the end of each stage you get a glyph. And once you enter in all the glyphs, you win the game. Or you solve the game or whatever, because you're not even sure if it's a game or what. You didn't mean it. Well, fine. Sir Detective, I'll give you the points now. I should be off to the next crime scene. Be seeing you. Take this gadget as a reward. Now, there are these little these little mini-game things called gadgets, but they're really pathetic. Most of them are really pathetic. There are a couple of good ones, but most of them are... It's just like... It'll be like something like coin flip. And it'll be a coin that has like heads or tails, and you press A, and it just flips the coin for you. And that's the entire thing. It's just a little applet thing. Take your gadget to Playland. You've got 28 quests to go. I think there are like 40 quests or something like that. Mushroom Challenge. Now, mushroom challenges are how you get more mushrooms. Each mushroom, I have 5 mushrooms now. Each mushroom gives me a dice roll. When I run out of dice, the game ends. So... Let's go to my second bottle of water. Yeah, so tomorrow at 2, I post my schedule on Twitter. I'm at STSH. On Tumblr, my name there is Super Train Station H. You really just need to follow the Twitter because no one uses Tumblr anyway. The only reason I still have a Tumblr is because I was using it back in 2009 when it wasn't a nightmare. And I don't browse around on the site. I just post my own stuff, and that's it. Because I used to have friends who would post art there, and they're all gone. I'm just still there just because for when I want to make posts that are longer than what Twitter allows, pretty much. I don't go browsing on that site. It has the reputation it has for a reason, so I just mind my business there. As long as you stay in your little walled garden of your own material, you could have an okay time there. But if you go around browsing and interacting with random people, it's gonna get bad really quick. Now in this game, if the chain chomps were to bite me, I just lose time. But in another minigame with chain chomps, if they bite me, I lose the game, so... See, look, you got me? I just lose a few seconds of time. And frankly, I think that this game might be better balanced if it was a one-shot affair. Because I had so much time, I didn't have much of a motivation to rush through the game. You get 3 mushrooms. Yeah, you see I'm standing, Pablo? I actually, for the first time, midstream, just switched to a standing setup, just out of necessity, because I use the same setup for my professional life and my recreational life, but I only have symptoms while I'm streaming, and I don't stream for very long. It's a big deal if a stream of mine goes on for more than 4 hours. In another 7 minutes, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and maybe stream. Well, I'll see how I feel in another. But I feel like continuing to play. But if I don't feel like playing, I'm gonna end the stream, you know. But usually I stream 2 games per session. I'll have one game I'll stream for a half hour or an hour, then I'll have my main game that I might play for a couple hours. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we got that one, we got that one. We got there. That's not a winnable... Item shot just isn't a winnable spot. Balbamba we've got. The game rooms we've got. The Bowser Pet. Okay, so the Bowser spot we didn't get yet. Shoemlock House, I don't think there's a quest associated with those ones. We've got the Thwomp House, the Goombob Manor. I think we haven't... The only thing left for us to do at this point is the Mushroom Condo. Now, the green dice blocks give me a free dice roll. A special mushroom challenge. If you win, you get 6 mushrooms. Okay, spin the wheel. Pesticide. This game is pretty easy. Okay, water, bug spray, water, bug spray, water, bug spray, bug... Oh my gosh, I'm messing up now. Bug spray, water. Somehow I messed... That's the first time I think I've ever lost that minigame. Because I was a little distracted. Too bad he had a shot, but he blew it. That's embarrassing. The pedal guy fell in love at first sight. Hey, it's the pedal guy. They make a lot of interesting references to stuff in Mario games that has never been referenced outside really since then. Like, they have a couple of bosses from Yoshi's Island as characters here. There's the flower-haired shy guy from Yoshi's Island. Who else? Who was I surprised by? They have both types of Goombas. They have the Super Mario Brothers traditional Goombas and the Super Mario World Goombas, and which have since been defined as Goombas and Galoombas. But at the time, the idea of Galoombas didn't exist, so it's just interesting that they even thought to have both kind of Goombas in the game. Was it 3D World that they finally introduced both types of Goombas as distinct enemy types? Yeah, 3 dice block, and we're gonna go to... Where's the condo? It's down here. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna just go straight to the condo. Oh my gosh, it's Koopa Kid. Alright. You again, you've got miserable luck. What should I do to you this time? Rochambeau, let's play rock, paper, scissors. You have to win. Rock, a draw. Okay. We won, so he's not going to be a problem this time. Now, let's see which quests are still... There's several characters in the condo. We did the rooftop. What's in the 3rd floor? Sigh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Flutter. I've just been feeling a little blue lately. Talk to me. Hearts of Flutter. Oh, that's so sweet of you to listen. My problem is that I'm in love. But there's more. I'm so embarrassed. It's an unrequited love. When I see him, I get butterflies in my stomach. I'm so shy. Would you mind telling this guy how I feel? If you do it, I'll give you a gadget. Of course. Oh, you do that for me, I'm so happy. I'm afraid I don't even know his name. But nobody's got eyes as big as his. See, I love guys with big, deep blue eyes. Go find the guy with the big blue eye. Well, we know, because of the bank robbery quest, we know that we're heading for Mr. I. But if we run out of mushrooms, we're gonna have to start from the scratch with this whole quest. But, oh, that's another thing about this game. About Koopa, the blue blocks that I like, the one I landed on, those are supposed to be like a chance to win more mushrooms. But it feels like normally Tumble is supposed to come up. Excuse me, I'm just stretching as I'm talking. Normally Tumble comes up, and it gives you a chance to win more mushrooms, and you just play a minigame, and if you win, you get more mushrooms. But it feels like 50% of the time, not like a quarter, 25% of the time, not like 1 out of 10. It feels like half the time. Koopa Kid appears instead. You only win 1 mushroom, and if you lose, it takes it away. And I feel like it just appears too often. And this is a game I'm pretty good at. The only time I ever lost was when I was deliberately trying to show off and take unnecessary risks. I beat it just a few minutes ago, so I feel good about beating it again now. But of course, if I get a little too full of myself, I'm pretty much guaranteed to bungle it somehow. You get bonus points for being close to the electric stream, but you don't have to be that close to get the bonus points. 120, 20, 60, and we got exactly 300 on the dot. Huh? You beat the minigame. Dang, that's my mushroom. Fine, take it. Don't think I'll forget this. It's a special mushroom challenge. If you win, you get 6 mushrooms. We're winning this time. Unless I get something really hard and I don't win. Okay, this one is one of the ones that's... This is one of the ones that's almost impossible to lose, in my experience, so... And we are bouncing. Okay, bounce. Alright, so it's been an hour. I'm gonna take a 6-minute break, and when we come back, maybe I'll play another hour of this. Maybe I'll play a half hour of this and a half hour of versus pinball or something like that. But for now, I'm going to mute them. I'm not gonna mute it yet. I just want to set my timer for 6 minutes. And I have my little egg timer I have with me for when I go out and stretch, so I know when it's time to head back. And we're gonna be playing for a while longer, but I'm gonna switch over to my... Here's my rest break screen. We're just going to... Alright, we'll just leave the game music running. I'm not going to put on my personal music, and I will be back shortly. let's, I think I feel like playing for another 40 minutes. So let's go for it. And we'll see how I feel then. And if I still feel like playing, I'm gonna keep it up. But for now, let's, yeah, Cloud Climb was so easy, I forgot that I literally do not have memories of playing the minigame that I just won. That's how easy Cloud Climb is. Yeah, I would like to maybe... I mean, I'd like to play Little vs. Pinball, but I'm gonna be honest, yeah, it's not so tough, but... Yeah, I just have to switch consoles. I have to switch over to the Nintendo Switch, which is already on my table. If you're not... Yeah, I won't... Are you drinking a smoothie? We're trying to... Wait. Almost wasted a bunch of moves there, because I wasn't thinking clearly. We're trying to get over to Mr. I's place. Hello, I'm Tumble. This is what should happen, like, 3/4 of the time. Instead, it's like half the time it's dumb Koopa Kid. But, if you want a minigame, I'll give you 2 mushrooms. Are you ready? You'll play Barrel Peril. Let's play. Alright. And you really... Losing one of these minigames is a lot more devastating than you think. And like Mario Party, if you lose a minigame... I mean, this is an easy minigame. We've already beaten it several times this stream already. Like, this is a very easy minigame, right? So if I lose... I mean, if you lose a minigame in a traditional Mario Party, you just don't get coins that turn. In Mario Party 1, you actually lose a few coins. But if you lose... Losing one of these minigames puts you in a pretty immediate peril of getting a game over. If you lose 2 minigames in a row, you're basically done. So the fact that some minigames are too easy while others are too hard is maybe a bigger deal in this game than it might have been in a traditional Mario Party. So what kind of smoothie you have in Cereal Wars? You beat it. Congratulations. As I promised, here are 2 mushrooms. Hey, double-digit mushrooms, even if it doesn't last long, it's always nice when that happens. It doesn't happen all that often, so you really are kind of flying by the seat of your pants throughout this game's adventure mode. Mr. Yes, I'd like to talk to you. Blueberry with pomegranate. Man, that sounds really good. But I have to, I see you want to tell me something. What? God, Big Eye. Flutter. God, Big Eye. Okay, whatever. Flutter? Oh, I see. She sent you to tell me that? Wow, I understand how she feels, but I hardly know her, so it's a little weird. Besides, I've got my eye on someone else. It wouldn't be right to lead her on. Tell her I'm sorry. Okay, see ya. Like, at first, I thought the, Ask Something Else thing was related to the, quest I was doing, where you were sort of interrogating the characters. I didn't realize that it was just a matter of, having the option to redo the dialogue with them. You play Flippin' Out. Now, this game, I don't think I've won this game on stream yet. This is only, I believe, the 2nd time. Okay, so jump, and R is to let go. Swing on the pegs and flip across the other side. Now, I think what really does it for me, there's no option to practice these minigames like in a traditional Mario Party, so you just have to go in with no graphics. You have no idea what you're going to see. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. I see the goal. These things are moving too slowly. There we go. I barely got that because I really felt even before it became an issue where I almost lost, that the ones that were going back and forth weren't moving fast enough. The first time I played this game, I lost almost instantly just because of not being familiar with how the controls worked. So we got, hey, double-digit mushrooms again. Mushroom challenge. Now we're gonna put... Like, the one before, that was sort of a special opportunity to win extra mushrooms. This is the normal chance every few turns to win mushrooms. I'm getting the same mini games a lot this session. I don't remember it repeating this often typically. And I'm so used to playing versus pinball. And I'm not used to being able to pause when I so feel like it to take a swig of water. A 20. 20. 20. 20. 20. Oh! I had it! Oh my gosh. Like, I was there, and like, I don't know, I felt like I was standing in the right spot for so long, but like the animation just very slightly clipped into the danger zone. We're gonna have to go over and break Flutter's heart. Oh well. And 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I went the wrong way again. I keep confusing the way. Mushroom challenge time. Okay, time. Now StompBot XL. If we get that, now's a chance to redeem myself with the gardening minigame. Last time I lost, I really do think it was the first time I ever lost this minigame. And I don't know why. It was just like, I guess my mind, I just wasn't focusing enough. Water, bug spray, bug spray, bug spray, bug spray, bug spray, bug spray, water, bug spray, water, bug spray, bug spray, water, bug spray, water, 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 bug spray, water. Man, what kind of plant needs to get watered that frequently? Are you in, like, fast motion? Are you living in a time-lapse world where, like, days are going by and you have to... Okay. 3 mushrooms. And we're back, and Flutter was living on the 3rd floor. Like, stop here, 3rd floor. Oh, you've come back. Did you talk to him? My heart's fluttering. You have to tell me. Did my confession of love go over well? It bombed. It bombed? You're such a kidder. That's so funny. Ha ha ha, sniff. You're not joking at all, are you? Wah. Well, it's better to have loved and lost. You got the love me not. Please leave me alone for a while, thanks. Hope she's gonna be alright. There's only one more quest in this area. Congratulations, you got a gadget. I'll take a gadget to Playland. You've got 27 quests to go. Keep it up, and... Alright. Toad Force 5 fans hang out in the basement. That's an area you need something if you want to join them. That's not what I meant to do. Actually, what I do want to do. Okay. Actually, I might as well. I think the 1st floor. Okay, we already did something for this guy. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Mushbird, Toad Force 5 totally walks. I love that show. I know all about it. Go ahead, ask me anything, Ailey. Only could we do it later? I'm busy. Hey, ask me anything. Later. Okay, and what I don't like is that just checking to see what's going on in there costs me a mushroom pretty much. I think it might not be true. They occasionally... There's no way to turn that off. They just point me towards different things I can do. Who is... Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Someone was just taking a survey and just asked if I had voted or not, and I already had, so. Alright, Mushroom Condom, would you like to stop here? Second floor? What else? You already beat the quest for the spot. Going anyway. No. Third floor? You already beat the quest for the spot. Going anyway. I like how it does at least say that you already beat the quest. Alright, so the second floor person is someone that we can't interact with right now. So we'll just go ahead and... So basically we've completed the town area for now. Now, where next to go? Now, as I beat a certain number of mini-games, of these little quests, rather, I unlock more of these pipes. And this pipe house, that's Bowser area. Once I beat all the different pipe areas, then I'll be able to, I guess, then I guess that's the end of the game. Now, I have been ignoring them, even though I've unlocked so many already. So this town area, I've done, there's only one quest left, and for 2 of the Mushroom Condo. I guess that will unlock at some point in the future. But since we haven't done so far, let's go to the Pipe House and actually do some of the Bowser challenges. Mushroom Challenge. Okay. It's this doggone minigame again. Beat the target score. This game just feels so unfair to me. Like, A and B to build power, and you just tilt up and tilt down. Catch an updraft to fly further. Okay. That's what I'm doing, and the first time I beat this, I mean, I used to have problems with this minigame even back then. I guess I have to try to get on the right plane, because this is easy now. It feels like it's either impossible to win or impossible to lose, and no in between. And I don't think it keeps track of your high score in this, unfortunately. And, but I do like how the portrait of Luigi's victory face is a high detail version of the exact same pose he's making on the sprite is on his game sprite there. Get 3 mushrooms. All right. Yeah, let's go to the Bowser area. Oh, come on. Okay, Koopa Kid, Rochambeau. If you lose, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, you won. And I lose a mushroom for that. See you later? How about see you soon? Because I'm coming right there to take more gadgets from you. Hammer Brother is the best throwing arm in town. He's tough. Why not challenge him? Pipe House, would you like to stop here? Yeah, sure. And this is Bowser's Pipe House. Hop in the pipe if you want his gadget. To enter the Pipe House, the next Pipe House, finish 2 more quests. We already unlocked 4 of these. And there are 4 more to unlock. So we've unlocked half of these already. Want to go in here? Yes. Mr. Bowser, sir, a customer is incoming. Mushroom challenge time. Spin the wheel. Now this is a minigame. I've lost this minigame, and when I lose it, I feel like I've lost it fair and square. I don't feel like, oh, I've been cheated. Beat the target score before time runs out. Alright. Move bobber, an L and R, or to reel in and out. Wow. That one was worth a lot of points. Oh yeah, I forgot it's not cumulative. Oh my gosh, I forgot it's... I was playing the game wrong. you have to get one fish that counts for the entire, yeah, they don't accumulate. Oh my gosh. And because of that, pretty much I lost because I wasn't quite clear on the rules of the game. Like, why have... If the challenge is doing the button combo, I mean, the logic of the game doesn't make sense, right? Because if the point of the game is to do the button combo to reel in the fish, why have the option to catch fish that don't count towards your point total and just waste your time? Because there's no real skill involved in choosing a big fish over a small fish in terms of... But then when you enter the part where you're pressing L and R, they should have just made it that you have to hit L and R to catch a fish that's already hooked. Like, the minigame starts, the intro animation, the character throws out his line, a fish catches it, then the minigame, whether you win or lose, is if you can do the button combo correctly. That's, like, so, like, just conceptually, I don't feel that game was very good. Bowser Mansion, would you like to stop here? Yes. So you see, I couldn't possibly have done it. Oh, hello, fancy meeting you here. Huh? Shroomlock, did you call Luigi? Shroomlock? Oh no, this is a total coincidence. Bah, you're looking for something, I know it. Say, Luigi, would you lend me an ear? See, I just heard that there's been a theft. The museum tells me a painting was stolen. What? And you think I stole it? Grr. Grr, Shroomlock. Grr. And you believe him, don't you, Luigi? I believe him. Bowser accused. Bah, why would I waste my time on art? Yeah, we hate art. Tell you what, if you can prove I did it, I'll give you a gadget. I won't lose. You're on or it's a deal. You're on. What? Don't you feel sorry for me at all? I feel sorry for you. Well, if you don't think you could... Well, if you think you could prove I did it, go ahead and try. Go ha ha. Ha 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 ha. The painting is called Toads at Twilight. Bowser says he can prove he's innocent. I need you to find a flaw in his story. What do you want? I just spit it out. I don't... Your alibi. I didn't leave home all day yesterday. Koopa Kid will back me up, won't you? It is so weird that... Because Bowser Jr. was already an established character at this point. So it's kind of... I feel like... I don't even like Bowser Jr. as a character, but I feel like he would be a better fit here than all these little Koopa clone kids. I saw him with my own beady little eyes. So there's no way I could have stolen it. I'm innocent, see? What do you want? Just spit it out. The painting? I don't like Toads, and I hate Twilight. Yeah, he hates it. And I've never even seen that painting. Neither is Koopahead. Go on, ask him. I don't know art, but I know what I hate. Art. See, I'm innocent. What do you want? Just spit it out. This mansion? See that clock? That was my grandpappy's. Tick-tock, tick-tock. There's no way to hide a painting in there. Any moron can see that. Just ask Koopa Kid. Yeah, I can totally see that. I couldn't possibly have hidden it. I'm innocent. He hates mushrooms and Italian plumbers. Yeah. What do you want? Just spit it out. I didn't leave home all day yesterday. Koopa Kid back me up. Throw that so many unbeatable eyes. Okay. I'm gonna be cheap. I'm gonna create the restore point here. Because I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of stuff if this is wrong. You lie? What story do you think he was lying about? The painting? Because he describes what's in the painting. Huh, you've totally confused me. I'm not even sure I could crack the case now. Guaha. See, like, with these mystery things, like, the writing isn't that good. Like, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna load the restore point. lie. What story do you think I was lying about? This mansion? Huh, yes, I agree completely. Gwaha, me a liar? I laugh at the idea. Don't quibble. You said you couldn't hide the painting. So it's the truth, right, Koopa Kid? Yeah, the truth. Why couldn't you hide it, Gwaha, isn't it obvious? Can't you put it behind the clock or a chair? Gwaha, man, are you dumb? No way. I see. That's what I'm asking. The painting's too big. It'd stick out. Keep your mouth shut, you dope. First off, I like the expression on Bowser's face there. That's very fine sprite work to get him to... That facial expression change on a sprite this low res, I think was very effectively done. But the logic of these puzzles does not... I mean, my background is in writing, so I feel like I'm reading into this more than a normal player would, and for some of these, what they're saying and what they want me to pick up on is so vague, I really don't think it's fair. Well, what I meant was, the painting is much larger than average. You were right, you couldn't hide it here. But you know that only if you'd seen it. And that is what proves your guilt. Blast, he caught us red-handed. Don't be sad, Mr. Bowser, sir. So tell me, where is Toads at Twilight? I hid it outside. Go show him, Koopa Kid. Alright, I'll show him. I appreciate it. We're never gonna get to see the painting. I gotta hand it to you, Luigi. You got me. I won't back down. It's battle minigame time. If you beat the game, it's yours. But if you don't, you won't get a gadget. Game Mush Rush. I'm gonna save state again because I'm not going through all that again if I happen to lose this minigame. Smash all the Koopa Kids. How many Koopa Kids will be in this game? Yeah, that's another thing. It's random. Well, you choose 50. Let's see how you do in my minigame. Now, these Koopa Kid minigames are not games... I haven't played these games since 2005. Like, the regular minigames, I have played in other modes since then. But these games, you don't encounter in the modes other modes I play. Koopa Kids want your mushrooms. Give them a taste of the old hammer. A is to swing left, B is to swing right. Alright. I genuinely don't remember this. Oh, this is a cool minigame. And plus I get to beat up Koopa Kids with hammers, which is, I do appreciate. It's very satisfying. Oh, this is fun. They're mixing up their behavior a bit. I don't know what the lowest number of Koopa Kids you can get in this minigame is. And they balanced it good because they can try to fake out, but if this is a DS game, maybe they could fake out a bit more with the extra vertical screen real estate. But as things are, I think they do a pretty fair job of not having it be, you know, too rubbishy in terms of not having a fair chance to have the proper amount of warning to ward them off. What? How could you? You beat my minigame. I have no choice. Here, take this gadget. You got the lip sync. Lip sync is a terrifying gadget. You could pretend to be somebody else with it. Blast, it was my favorite gadget. You'll regret this. Grr. Congratulations, you got a gadget. I'll take your gadget to Playland. You've got 26 quests to go. Keep it up. and get more stuff. Ninja on the first floor loves TV. He's looking for a DVD of a TV show. Yeah, they really dug deep into the entire pantheon. You can save your progress. I mean, I don't want to quit, but I want to save the game. Yeah, this game doesn't have a sleep mode, I don't think, which is weird, because a lot of earlier major... You stepped on a minus space, it's going to cost you a turn. Alright. Let's do another one of these. We already did that one. I like how the ones you haven't done yet are flashing to highlight them. Want to go in here? Yes, let's go in here. Mushroom challenge time, spin the wheel. Grab it, switch way, and Stompbot XL. Switch way. This game is tense and it's very tedious too. I mean, yeah. Yeah, this game's pretty much just a matter of memorizing the layout of the board, which is not what this sort of minigame really should be about. Let's see if I can beat it not seconds away from disaster like last time. Here. Up. And to the right. Now, like, Mario, like, the character really should inherit the gravity. Like he's moving to the right, right? If the platform's moving, Luigi's standing on the platform. When he jumps, he doesn't inherit the momentum of the moving platform, which is against the laws of physics, pretty much. Like, the game would make... I mean, it's fair enough. And I'd say that... You could say that, oh, that's too deep to get into for a Mario game, but some Mario... Like, I think the Mario Galaxy games operate on that logic, while Mario 64 doesn't. So it's an actual design choice that is considered when they make Mario games. Bowser Pad. Gwahaha, welcome to Bowser's Bachelor Pad. Nice of you to come. I am the Swoon Master, the Regent of Romance. Hey, Master. Let me guess, you came to challenge me? You got it. Bestest buds. Now this is something. Gwahaha, I knew it. If you want to win, you need to bring me the perfect gift. Find me a gift that warms my cold heart, and I'll give you a gadget, free of charge. Think you could do it? It won't be easy. Yeah, sure. You're on, buddy, you're on. Go to the item shop and pick out something. Either a necklace, a ring, or a bracelet. Listen to me and guess what I would like. Yeah, guess, Mr. Bowser Sir's Mr. Bowser Sir's tastes. Quiet. Alright, listen carefully. Shush. Okay, so my tastes, this is hard. I like rings more than necklet. Okay, this is going to be a logic like this more than that, I like that more than this, and so forth. So I have to figure out what he wants the most. I like rings more than necklet. No, wait. I like bracelets as much as necklaces. He likes bracelets as much as necklaces. But I like rings more than bracelets. I'm gonna get him a ring. One more time, starting now. Okay. So my taste, this is hard. I like rings more than necklaces. I like bracelets as much as necklaces. But I like rings more than bracelets. So I have to get him a ring. Oh, I can't wait to see what you get me. Can't wait, yeah. So I actually have to leave this area and come back. And I only have 3 mushrooms right now. This is a little scary, actually. Oh, you know what's cool? I just realized before it said I had to complete 2 quests. And then once I beat that Bowser stage, now it only says 1 quest. So the Bowser quests themselves count as quests that count towards unlocking future games. Now, what's cool is they do allow me to... No, I'm definitely not going there. Anything's better than losing a mushroom at this point. Mushroom challenge time. I need to win this. I really do. Sword stack. I've already won this game before today, but it is a little scary. Okay. Green one, red, get a blue. No, we need the red one to be there. And the blue one should go here. We got red, we got a green, blue, green, and we just need to switch this green and yellow, and green. There we go. Yeah, this is, definitely, I think I'm gonna do my streams like this from now on, actually. It means I'm gonna have to do some physical rearrangement of the room, including a very risky lifting of the chair and placing it elsewhere in the room. Yeah, this is definitely working good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, I mean, it doesn't matter much, but... No, okay. I forget I keep forgetting that the shop... What's the quickest way to the shop? The shop is up here. Okay, fortunately they let you backtrack and see which path will be most efficient for you. Your spine is erect, allowing your body to optimally send all the signals. It makes all the sense in the world, but at no other point in sitting in that exact same chair in this exact same setup do I have those problems except while I'm streaming. So I'm narrowing it down to the point where this standing helps. It has to be psychological. I don't have a stage fright effect going on. I don't feel like nervous or anything. But yeah, it's so weird. Welcome to the junk, the item super shop. Mr. Bassett told me you'd be coming. So what do you think you'd want? A ring. You sure you want the ring? I'm sure. You've got good taste, I know you'll love it. You got a ring. Now there is no, you don't have to pay coins for the shop, he just gives you the items. Hey, free turn. Another free turn. 1, 2, 3, nope. Mushroom challenge time. I mean, just being a few spaces over is a much better, yeah, it's much better than just flat out losing a mushroom for landing on the minus space. Because odds are I'm going to get higher than 3 on my next dice roll anyway. I have to say, some of these... I know there are mini games I haven't unlocked yet just because they haven't appeared on the roulette. But it can get repetitive pretty quickly. Because this is like maybe the 3rd or 4th time I played this mini game today. Oh my gosh. Imagine if that was a one-hit KO game, and I was a pixel or 2 away from clearing the finish line, and I got taken out like that. Yeah, so now I can actually say, like, my stream now has a 100% increase in the number of cardboard tubes involved. And the thing is, like, I have a fixation with cardboard tubes, so I just take, like, these aren't, like, regular paper towels. These are, like, the big, like, industrial cardboard tubes. And I have this weird fixation with cardboard tubes, and I just bring them home. And I'm like, why am I bringing these home? What am I going to do with them? I need to be reasonable. What am I going to use these cardboard tubes for? And now there's a cardboard tube holding up my webcam and another holding up my microphone. So, alright. Which way is the best, quickest way to Bowser? We have to go down-ish. So we're gonna... Free turn. Go for it. Yeah. 2, 3. And we're going to Pipe House. What should have been turn to the next Pipe House command request. Want to go in here? Yes. Mr. Bowser. Now, this is Bowser's bachelor pad. All the paths to the Bowser areas have minus spots. Could he make a door worm out of these cardboard tubes? I could, but the equipment they really wouldn't appear on camera. I know I have had a sort of idea for a while that door worms would like playing with cardboard tubes and like sort of like winding their body through them and such like. It's shiny. Oh, so shiny. Oh. Bowser's mesmerized. Not so fast. Let's compete in a game. Win, I'll give you a gadget. All yours. Okay, I'm going to... No. I'm going to go ahead and save state, because I don't feel like going all the way to get the ring and all the way back here for this. That is, I think, those consequences are a little too much, especially for a portable game where you might only have a few minutes to play. You have to do this all over again. Peek and sneak. Sneak past all the Koopa Kids before time runs out. So how many Koopa Kids will this game have? The number of Koopa Kids is set to 38. Is that all? Ha. Let the minigame begin. Left and right and dash. Sneak past the Koopa Kids while they aren't looking. Hide behind the pillars. Okay, so we're Mushroom Gear solid here. There's a time limit. That's the thing. I have to consider that. Those two are synchronized pretty much, so... Oh, I got time for sneaking past them both. We're more than halfway there. The green ones all seem to be synchronized across the entire map. The red one is tricky, okay. Because he doesn't have a payload. Only 20 more. Got a 20-second bonus for that one. And we got... We're good, pretty much. I believe we're in good shape now. Time's getting tight, though. Nice. Alright, my timer's going off. Because it's been an hour since it's been 40 minutes since I got back. There are only 2 more I have to get past. This is the last one. That was fun. That was fun. Not as fun as the last one. Wasn't quite as fast paced. What do I want to do? I'm gonna do a real-time console change once we get our gadget for this. You did it, Mr. Bowser, sir. What's the matter? Please take this gadget. Listen, take it. You got the Shroom Bloom. Shroom Bloom is a great gadget. You can grow lots of mushrooms with it. You'll grow tons of them. Dang, I love that gadget. Dude, I love when the characters in the game talk about these ridiculous little gadgets. And they're just pointless and dumb, really. See ya. I won't forget this. Seems so Crossstream being friendly and threatening. See ya. I won't forget this. Now, yeah, for beating that minigame, I now unlocked another. You've done 25 quests. You're halfway there. Fine, I'll let you in the next fight. Brawlhalla. My next quest is at the end of this pipe. You'll have to battle against the Bowser Gang boss. Finish this quest to get 2 gadgets. That's right, 2 of them. Have fun. Finish 5 more quests to open up the next pipe. See you then. Ha ha ha. When I first played this, I think I went to the pipe house every time I unlocked another pipe. Congratulations, you got a gadget. I'll take your gadget to play on. You've got 25 quests to go. So, we're halfway there. I guess there are 50 quests in all. Bullet Bill's faster than anyone around. Why not challenge him to a quick race? Let's save the game. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to yeah. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna do a real-time console change. Where is and switch from the Wii U over to the Nintendo Switch, which is pretty simple, as all I have to do is swap the HDMI cables. And I just have to get the Wii U Pro controller ready. Now, let's see. What do I have my game audio set for pinball? $31.3. I'm actually gonna leave the volume where it's at and I'm going to just go. But one thing I do need to do, I wasn't planning to play versus pinball today, so I don't have the current stream number entered into. Okay, there we go. I just have to go into my ticker and update the stream number. And change the stream title. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just doing this is kind of experimental. But what I'll do is, oh, let me get into the game. Yes, I know, time's up. And set that for 20 minutes. And come on, wake up. Wake up. There we go. And there we go. Now I'm leaving my microphone and my game audio on the same settings I had it for the last game. And tell me if the game is too quiet or too loud, pretty much. I know my personal audio I'm going to turn up a bit because NES or Versus Pinball, whichever version I'm playing. Now, what I need to do with my webcam is... No, that's not even what I'm trying to do. Where's my... I have to adjust the webcam for my new standing setup. Where is... Versus Pinball... Timer... Where's the webcam? There's the webcam. Okay. I have to move this higher up. No, that's too high up. This should do it? No, it's still not high up. No. Sorry, Slobs is being slow with dragging my... Okay, now it's too low. Okay, so what is this? What is this weird object here? Okay, there we go. That's what I had to do. But, okay, so if I... So for my webcam, I just got to move it down some. Move it down a little more. Alright, that looks good. Now I just need to move it over to the right. Sorry for the real-time adjustment, but I wasn't necessarily planning on playing this today. And I changed my... There we go. That's what I like to see. Looks like I'm hiding behind the computer, like. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Just gotta crop it. Where's... I just need to drag this up a bit and drag it back down. Alright. Just a little to the right. Sorry, I'm such a perfectionist. Almost. Yeah, it's good enough. I like it. I like this right now. And so we'll play this for let's give it 30 minutes. That'll put me at 5:30, and then we'll call the stream there. But no, but you need to tell me if you're listening to this and can chat safely or whatever. If I can't even hear. Can I? Is my game audio even turned on? No, I did turn it off. Okay. Yeah, you gotta tell me if the game's too loud or if it's too quiet. Because I'm experimenting. I'm just gonna use the same microphone and audio settings from when I was playing on the Wii U a minute ago. And this is fitting enough because back in the day you would have been standing while playing this game in the arcade. I do wish that I had a solution to not have the view obscured by my monitor. I'll have to experiment with that a bit, but this is the perfect height pretty much. This is really the perfect height for me. Well, I guess I could just crop the monitor out, which I'll look into next time. Yeah, there's no reason I need... yeah, I'll just enlarge my face a bit and have the monitor cropped out. There we go. So, I don't know if this is a little loud or too quiet. I'll look back on the VOD for myself later, but for now, as long as everyone's comfortable, go through a half hour without the sound being to my overly exacting perfection. Oh yeah, the colors are so much brighter in this version, having just played the Wii U version a few minutes ago. A couple hour and change ago now. By getting the right tunnel, we've activated the slot machine. And you want to get 3 penguins. 3 penguins is the best result. Now, this really wasn't that good of a score. I take a screenshot at the end of each game so that I could easily refer to the screenshots to tally up my scores for statistics purposes. Well, I mean, I say for statistics purposes. If I just said it's for statistics, that would have inherently established the purpose for which I'm taking the numbers. So it's one of those things I'm aware of in terms of language that... No. Yeah, there we go. Now, I was saying yesterday, there are some... in Japan, there is a company called Coconuts Japan that also made some Famicom titles themed around pachinko. They made a special pachinko controller that has a handle that's up that lets you control the game in an analog manner, similar to the knob on a pachinko machine. And if I was able to get that controller, if there's some HDMI out NES clone that can accept Famicom controllers, because Famicom controllers use like the plug-in, like the 2 like regular gamepads on the Famicom are permanently plugged into the system. But there's a port in the front of the Famicom that lets you plug in third-party controllers or different accessories. And it's not like the NES port, it's a unique port. And I think that if there's an NES phone out there that lets you plug in Famicom controllers, I would go about importing or preferably buying from someone already in the US, one of these Coconuts Japan pachinko controllers. And there's only like 2 or 3 games the controller works with, but I was interested in playing some pachinko Famicom games anyway, so I'd probably just get myself an EverDrive, and because they're English patches for some of these Famicom pachinko games, and I think one of the games that works with that controller is patched. So it would be cool to have that controller and be able to use it on stream. Now the dream would be to have a controller cam on my hands. Alright. I think this version probably points a lot quicker than the home console. Okay, good, because my outline stoppers aren't active yet. Now, I got the outline stoppers kind of just in time there. To get the outline stoppers, you have to clear the eggs and have 3 chicks on screen at the same time. They don't have to be hatched at the same time. As long as they're all 3 on screen at the same time, that earns you outline stoppers. Now, 1 penguin. 2 penguins! Oh, and a 7. If I got 3 penguins, I would have got bonus points and an indefinite ball stopper for my outline, for my gutter there. Now, to get the ball stopper, if I were to get the royal flush by flipping over the end cards at the top of the screen, I would get twin outline stoppers and a gutter stopper that last indefinitely. Well, the gutter stopper lasts indefinitely, the outline stoppers last until you use them, and you can unlock more outline stoppers by running over by hatching chickens. But and hatching chickens is a lot easier when you have the gutter stopper, because when you have the gutter stopper, you can let the ball rest at the bottom and launch it when you so choose. Now, I don't... Okay, there we go. And we're off. Oh, man. You just made a delectable oven-roasted turkey breast and uncured honey ham with jack cheddar cheese wrapping. You devise fantastic home cooking menus. I just want you to know that. Now, see the purple chicks down there? If I hatch 3 purple chicks at once, I get a ball save. And the ball save comes in the form of Bubbles from Poo-Poo Land, who will come... Okay, I've got a ball save right there. Yeah, Bubbles from Poo-Poo Land will come and take the ball out the gutter. And it's a nice slow animation, which would give me time to grab a swig of water, because this being an arcade game, there's no pause feature. Now, in the emulation, there's a pause feature. I'm playing this on Nintendo Switch, by the way. There is a pause feature, but the thing about that pause feature is that in regular mode, you can stop the game and resume. In high score mode, which is the mode where my scores will be added to the, okay, I missed taking the screenshot of that one, but in high score mode, my games are added to the global leaderboard, on which I am 84th place right now. On the ticker on the bottom of the screen, you can see my personal best score, which is also displayed in the game itself on the upper left. So the in-game high score does reflect my actual PB. I started this at like 596th place, and now I'm all the way up to 84th place. So I've come a long way. And I'm just learning more about how the game works and taking statistics and stuff like that to be able to contribute to the strategy wiki page on this, which has been an important resource for me, because the only real page I can find that explains the scoring and all that. Actually, something just occurred to me. I want to look at the menu. If I look at the manual, it never occurred to me to just look at the manual for this game. There's no manual for this game. The manual is for the NES version. And see if it describes much about the targets and stuff in the manual. And it never occurred to me to actually look in the manual for the NES version. And there's not as much information online about there are definitely scoring changes in the arcade version. For instance, those 3 bumpers on the bottom screen here are worth 300 points each. On the NES version, those are worth 100 points each. And when you launch at the top, that circular bumper in the middle, that's a 100-point bumper in this and the arcade version. And I feel like this is a more balanced version of the game. There are added sound effects, brighter colors and stuff. But in addition to all of that, the 3 bumpers on the lower table are worth more, and I think that's fair, because when I'm on this upper table, I am at no risk of losing my ball. The worst that can happen to me is that I'm just going to end up on the lower table. But on the lower table, that's where you're at risk of losing your ball. And due to that fact, I think it is fair that those bumpers in the middle there are worth 300 points instead of just 1. Hey, got that. Did I have a delicious lunch? Absolutely not. I went to Taco Bell. Which is not very good, but I knew what I was getting into. So it's not very good, but I like it, and that's not a good combination for food. But I am gonna make probably some. I mean, this is very slightly more resembles legitimate cooking than anything related to Taco Bell, but I am going to make a hamburger helper type thing by Amy's. It's like a chili mac thing, and I've got some like Morningstar meatless crumbles to make it with. I happen not to eat meat, so I got those instead. I used to do with the Morningstar crumbles back in like 2006 and early 2007. There was this period of my life where I had this ritual where most afternoons I would fire up Bomberman 93 on the Wii Virtual Console, which is Bomberman 93 is a game I've been hearing about for years, but I didn't get to play it until it came out on the Wii Virtual Console. I'd play Bomberman 93, and I'd have like the meatless crumbles and some buns, some sesame seed buns, and I'd get a can of manwich sauce. And I would make Sloppy Joes and play Bomberman 93. And so, like, sometimes I have certain foods that I associate with certain games. Like, there's this potato salad that I associated with this DOS game called Sandstorm, which is kind of like Missile Command, but it's themed around the Persian Gulf War. And I always associate that with my mom's potato salad that she'd make for barbecues in the summer. Then, for Bomberman 93, I always think about Sloppy Joe's. What other combos can I think of? Not a whole lot of combos like that where I think... Oh yeah, I can think of another one. I mean, this is a while back. I mean, this is like 2000. I was still eating land and sea animals at the time, so I specify that because if I say I'm a vegetarian, some people like ask like, do I eat fish? I'm like, no, I don't eat animals. But I used to have fish sticks with this sauce. One of my mom's friends told her this special sauce mix that she'd make. I think it was A1 and ketchup. And it went really good with fish sticks. So playing the Paper Mario on N64 with fish sticks and this particular sauce. And I remember where I was at the day I first had it. I was in the part of the game where you're looking for the dry ruins and dry desert. And you're in that desert town where you have to find the secret person who knows the way to get to dry ruins. Oh, it's the lower screen that looks like the monster. You see the 300 eyes and the teeth. Oh, I see what you're getting at. I cannot unsee now, and with the eggs are like the teeth. All right, yeah, I see what you're. Yeah, but just in time for Halloween, right? Yeah, it would have been cool if Mario Party Advance. I was considering us focusing on the horror-themed, spooky area of the map for Halloween, but let's just go ahead and do a couple of Bowser stages. We will be going back to Mario Party Advance. Now, no one's mentioned anything, so I'm guessing that the audio is balanced good for this, between my game audio and my voice. At least it's comfortable enough that everyone in chat doesn't have anything to say about it. Because these settings are absolutely nothing like the settings I had last night. I mean, last night I was sitting, but I was also, like, the same distance from the mic, pretty much. Because I used a cardboard tube to prop up my microphone. Now, when this game ends, I'll show you the cardboard tube I'm using to hold up my mic. And I'm so glad, like, when I brought in the cardboard tube that I'm now using to hold up my webcam, at the time I thought, like, I have enough cardboard tubes at home, there's no reason for me to bring more cardboard tubes home. But it turns out there was, because I have this short cardboard tube that I'll show you, is what I had now, we are 3/5 of the way to getting a royal flush. Oh, thank you, Bubbles. I'm 3/5 of the way to getting a royal flush, which will, basically let us get a whole bunch of points with minimal risk of losing the ball. Now, I do want to get that outlane stopper back, in which case I need to hatch the 3 chicks again. I almost got 3 at once. And we haven't even gotten into the bonus stage. Okay, we got 3 chicks. But were they all on screen at once? Okay. No. Okay. You got an Aladdin mod chip installed in your Xbox. Oh, you misspoke yesterday? Yeah. I don't know what the Aladdin mod chip is. When I hear Aladdin, the only thing I think of is the Aladdin deck enhancer for the NES, which was basically a way this one particular company, and they make it sound like it's a 32X-like thing that enhances the games, but actually it was a way to be able to produce games cheaply and only put the necessary guts to run the game into the deck enhancer, and then just put the ROM chip itself in the cartridge that worked with the deck enhancer. You got some points. We're on our last ball here, and we're on our bonus ball, I believe. So this is legit the last ball, not counting any ball rescues. And launch. And the warbling sound is silent here because this. Hey, we turned off all the lights in the left lane. We got the steel balls in the noses. And by watching that in slow motion, I can confirm how many points that's worth. Because I know how many points it's worth in the NES version. I don't know it offhand. I just have it. It's on strategy with me, but I can't guarantee. I don't know if those are the same number of points because I did confirm in the bonus game in this arcade version, you get 1,000 points just for leaving the bonus stage. In the NES version, you don't get bonus points for leaving the bonus stage, which means you can very quickly, like you. Okay. Oh wait, I don't think actually we're not on bonus ball yet. Using it to bypass the HDD key EPROM requirement on the Xbox. I don't even really know what that means. Okay. So the Xbox you're talking about, is this an original Xbox, or is it a modern Xbox? Because of Xbox's, Microsoft's ridiculous naming convention for Xbox consoles, I can't assume people say Xbox to mean the current Xbox. They say it to mean the next generation, the 8th generation Xbox platform, which is just called Xbox, of which there are 2 models, the Series S and the Series X. So it's like, what a mess. Okay. Didn't last long down there, but we did get the 1,000 points for exiting the bonus stage. We're 3/5 of the way to getting the Royal Flush. And we've already got, we broke. You broke 10,000 points already. I mean, ideally, I'd like to get to... Well, really, I should be... To be really competitive, I feel like I have to get to 100,000 points before I even... Hey, see when I hatch that 3rd chick? Then my outlane stopper on the left reappeared. There we go. I'm only one... Oh, bonus stage time. And I'm only 1 card away from getting the Royal Flush. Oh boy. And... oh my... It almost went down that last... It almost flipped the last card. It almost flipped the last card. And... no ball rescue. That's the end. Nearly to the Royal Flush, but not quite. And not quite isn't close enough. Original Xbox. Okay. Now, that is... Because when I'm thinking... Like, installing an Xbox mod chip in an original Xbox versus installing a mod chip in an Xbox One has very different connotations, potentially, to what people's imagination will jump to. Because with an OG Xbox, it's a matter of just keeping the thing running, because... Those things, like, my original Xbox died in, like, 2005 or... 2006, my original Xbox died. Like, those things, like I think the capacitors like to go on them. Yeah, I didn't think the Xbox One or 360 had mod chips, but I don't follow closely on it, so I wasn't going to comment on that specifically. Alright. Yeah, I definitely like this is definitely a huge improvement, standing in terms of the symptoms. So I'm gonna do my streams like this from now on. It's gonna be a pain in the butt because I'll have to get a shipping container that I really don't have space for in this room. And I have to move my chair, which is a very scary operation. But it's all working out pretty good. So I'm gonna play another 9 minutes and call it. Funlip, you're only installing this mod chip due to an error on your behalf. Oh, did you fry something else or something and then you had to use the mod chip to bypass the mistake you made earlier? I know, Pete Dora a while ago, heck, it might have even been a year ago already. That was just scary to think about, but he was trying to boot up his original Xbox, and it was, like, dying, and it was, like, the hard drive was failing on it, and he was playing some of the music he had installed in it, and it was so creepy and scary and spooky sounding. got the one card I needed. I needed the ace last turn. Wouldn't it be something if there was a special bonus for flipping the cards in left to right order? But that would be too wild. Okay. Oh my gosh, we can get a royal flush. Royal flush, we got it. And bonus stage. Now sometimes when I come out of bonus stage, I end up losing my stopper on the bottom. I hope that's not the case this time. Alright, and we're out. I think, you know what? I don't know if Mario's actually appropriately... Oh, that's... Oh, come on, they took the outland stopper, and I can't flip those cards back over, so... We're... No more... I didn't even get to enjoy the royal flush much, because I got in the darn bonus stage. That's the only time when getting in the bonus stage could really be anything resembling a negative. When you just got the royal flush. And I thought the royal flush included the outland stoppers, but I guess that was just coincidental that I usually got the outland stopper soon after getting the royal flush, because having the drain stopper does make it a lot easier to hatch purple checks. Oh, when it goes down the 1,000 point lane at the top, you can get nice bumping action where it bounces off the bumper for 100 points, then bounces straight back up through the 1,000 point lane. See, look. 1,000. No action there, but you can get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in rapid succession. Now I can play through the bonus stage without being paranoid. I don't think Mario's colored... Mario's colored more traditionally. In the NES version, I think he's colored a bit funny, or at least he's colored funny on the box art. I know that for sure. He's colored not in his modern mode. I mean, I'm not even up to 100,000, and I'm still and I have 0 balls left, and I'm playing on my bonus ball right now. So I'm not so impressed in turn. So this isn't the best game, but I am doing pretty good. If I was doing this good on my first ball, we could be in potential PB territory. But hey, I'm just gonna play the game I've got rather than win the game I could have had. Because any game could be the one that blows the other away. Yeah. Oh yeah, back on the upper table. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some testing, and I'll be probably doing it on stream. And the testing will probably make for a really strange stream. The testing process I have planned, but I'll be doing some testing to formulate optimal strategies for earning the most points in this game, and also figuring out the point values of different things in this game, which there's no information on really. The only information I could find was the strategy wiki page, which focused mostly on the NES version. Now, oh, almost. Yay, turned off the lights, got the seals to bounce the balls. There we go. Can I get Royal Flush again this game? Because it finally flipped the cards back over. I'm not sure. I have to look back and see if there's anything in particular that triggers the cards to flip back over, if it's just a certain amount of time. Okay. Oh! Almost I just had to flip that queen over. We could have got 2 Royal Flushes in one game, which I'm not sure I would have gotten before. Pure idolatry. Oh yeah, that's the cool thing about now that I'm following you on Twitter, I could see some of your Dollar Tree adventures and stuff. I was at Dollar Tree the other day. You saw a pack of Thomas Train Engine face tissues. I thought about you. They even had different labels with different train faces on them. Huh. You know, like Thomas the Tank Engine, actually, the show that's been going from like 1984 to like I think a year or two ago, that show is canceled now. They're actually they're finally rebooting the series, and it's funny because like I think Mattel owns Thomas now, and once they came to own Thomas, the quality of the toys went to heck. Like I was just, you know, in like the store or whatever, and I see like, okay, why is there a Thomas toy where Thomas only has 4 wheels? Thomas has 6 wheels. Having a Thomas the Tank Engine toy where Thomas has 4 wheels is like having a Pikachu toy where Pikachu doesn't have a tail. It's like having a Mario toy where, like, Mario has purple skin. It is just off-model. And when you have an iconic character like that, and then, like, the wooden railway toys Mattel was putting out, when I saw them, because when you follow some train people, I don't really follow the Thomas fandom or Modern Thomas or anything. But when you follow a couple of train people on Twitter, you're bound to get retweets and stuff like that. And when I saw when they first revealed the new wooden railway toys, I'm like, those look counterfeit. Those look so bad. They looked fake. They looked like a off-brand counterfeit Thomas the Tank Engine toys. Like half the toy, that's like a wooden figures of these wooden toy things, fine. But like half of it wasn't painted. It was just the raw wood color. It was just like, and I saw what they're planning for the reboot, and I really don't have any faith it's gonna catch on. And I like, because I don't know, but hey, as long as today's kids are happy, then it's good enough for me. Because I have my my George Carlin and Ringo Starr memories, and that's enough for me. The only time I really watch Thomas is, I have this tradition, I'd binge season 1 through 4 every day on Christmas for the last like 6 years. That's the only time I really watch it. Or if I need to take a nap, I'll put them on and then just fall asleep to it. I won't even look at it. I'll just put it on and just let the audio put me to sleep. So as much as I talk about it, it's not really something I watch much. Unless I need to fall asleep and take a nap, and I know that'll put me to sleep quickly. Alright. This is not... Okay. I just let that ball exit. I just let that ball exit the game. I don't think we're gonna have a bonus ball. Alright. I'm going to... I'm gonna end the timer here. Gonna end the timer. And I'm gonna play one more game. I'm not gonna interact with chat or anything. I'm just gonna focus 100% on the game. And, well, actually, there is something I can do first. Alright. Yeah, that's one thing. I have to bend over and stuff to operate the computer I have the broadcast over. Okay, so I'm gonna just start a game and focus 1% on the game. So, sorry, no chat interactions. Oh, Disneyland Paris is closing again? Oh, man, I really haven't even followed that, but... Like, I know the story of how they opened and how it was, like, a rough opening, but... Okay, I'm gonna focus 100% on the game. I'm just gonna play one game for the road, and then I'll catch up with chat, and we'll call it there. Okay, so Pinball Wizard mode. World record game, let's go. Not that I don't like chatting. See, I can't even keep my mouth shut. Alright, serious time. Doggone. Get in there so quick and then lose it so quick. Back on the upper table. Not for long. So that'll do it. I forgot to take this. For some reason I thought I had a bonus ball lined up. I guess I didn't quite get enough points for that. So, hey, and it's exactly 5:30. So this is a good point to end this. You're gonna lay down? Take care, everyone? Alright, I'll see you around Serial Walrus. Thank you, Collectible Boy. I'll be back tomorrow at 2. I'll be playing a little Mario 35, but mostly Helios, which I know Serial Walrus will appreciate very much. So I'll see what I could do to maybe perfect my setup. The only problem is the monitor up here, but there's nothing I can do to avoid that for now. Yeah. Now, oh yeah, and this is the cardboard tube that I'm gonna plug my my mic for. So in that way, I just showed how I have my microphone set up. So it's just sitting on top of the tube, which is then sitting on top of a jar of cocoa butter. And that's actually the cardboard tube that I used to have my microphone, my webcam on top of. And I just used the tripod on the desk. Instead, I just fold up the tripod and put the snowball on top of the mic. And now I have a longer cardboard tube, and that's what my webcam is sitting on top of now. Yeah, I could. I've thought about different things to do with these, but as far as decorating them for the stream, like, they never really appear on camera, so I'm not especially motivated to do so. What I've thought of doing is turning them into O'Neill cylinders, if you're familiar with that space colony concept. You know what? I'm gonna do one more, just one more, and I'll call it. One more, and then I'm done for the day. I'll be back tomorrow at 2. I'll be playing Super Mario 35 and Helios. If you're unfamiliar with Helios, it's a sort of cryptic puzzle game released for DOS on PC. And that game pretty much is a well, it's a game that is. There's sort of a fourth wall breaking creepypasta like backstory to it. It is actually the story for this game is actually featured on the Creepypasta wiki, but it was not intended to be taken, like, so seriously, but the sort of fourth wall breaking lore in the document that's included with the game, the README file, is basically explains that it was left by aliens during a close encounter to the person's house, and he just released the game as it is. And it's a game where you pilot it's a sort of physics-based maze game where you pilot a balloon around a cryptic alien maze, and there's a level select screen that's also an entry select screen for some kind of code. And at the end of each stage, you collect a glyph that you enter into this code wheel that also serves the title screen, and when you collect all the glyphs, you unlock the ending of the game. And I've seen the ending, I won't spoil it, but I will say it is very cryptic and has added tremendously to the game's sort of cult following. Now, as a creepypasta sort of game, and it's not a horror game at all. It's really only the backstory that would imply any sort of creepy or scary or horror elements. Until only about 5 years ago, someone made a YouTube video about it, someone with a following. And since then, there's been a cult following for this game. Before that, really the only search results I could find for the game were my own website. So, alright. I'm going to do one more game. I usually don't do this. This is only the second time I've ever done this. I'm going to do a 100% serious run with no chat interaction, which is very hard for me to do. I like to keep talking. I like to interact with my chat. But I'm going to do one for the road till the cows come home, 100% chat. Do not let me get away with it if I play another round after this. But I'm going to play one more match tonight. One more round. See if I can improve my leaderboard ranking. Alright, so that was the end of the game. At least we got a 100k game as to close it off with. I have thought about making or commissioning a plush doorworm I could wear around my neck, which would... I don't know if it would look cool or if I like how it looked on stream or whatever. But, hey, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to be back at 2 tomorrow with Super Mario 35 and Helios for DOS. So that's it for today, and thank you very much for joining me.